Good morning, YouTube. We're back again for another Fantasy Map Friday. Let's go live on TikTok as well. And away we go. Alright, hello TikTok. Welcome back. It is the day, I don't know if I can say we all have been waiting for, but it's certainly the day I have been waiting for. I hope you're as excited as I am. Let's go ahead and get our chat all sorted. Ian, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you, man. Howdy, howdy. Happy Friday to you. How you doing? We made it. Melissa Lee, what are you doing here? Good to see you, though. How are you? How are you recovering? How is the baby? You just missed it by a minute. You just missed it. Hey, Heidi, welcome in. Ian, you slept hard. Hey, rock on. We take those. I could use a little bit of that. Let me just get the combined chat going here. TikTok is asking me to pass tests to prove I'm not a robot, and that is hard to do on stream. Only took 3 tries. Maybe I am a robot, y'all. Oh, you know what? I don't have the combined chat on the map stream. Let me get that in here real quick. Do this. Then we'll go to map display, and we'll paste it in. And then I need to send a test message. Okay, I see some messages in there. Oh, I do have it in here. What am I talking about? It just wasn't showing up yet. You're up for breakfast. All right, well, I hope it's a good breakfast, Melissa. You need that. You need your strength back. Do we like the placement of that chat? Is that going to be in the way when we're working? I feel like it's okay. It's about the best place it could be. All right, I think we're good to go then. Hey, folks, howdy, howdy, welcome in. Happy Friday. Back for these Fantasy Map Fridays, my favorite day of the week. Slendy, what's up, my guy? Goodman, welcome in. Raffi, what's going on, buddy? Raffi, interesting. Still no notification today. I had heard some other folks were having trouble with notifications as well, so I wonder if it's like a TikTok-wide thing right now. Other name, you set an alarm so you wouldn't miss today. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate y'all. Really strange that it's just not giving notifications now. Oh, Slendy, that sounds like a lovely morning, my dude. Oh, interesting. Combined chat is not populating. It always gives me so much trouble here. Let me do a refresh. Come on now. Want to get going. It's Fantasy Map Friday. Sign in. Should be good. Close the window. There we go. I'm about to find a way to do that a bit more smoothly, y'all, so you don't have to watch me fix my chat every day. Interesting, Goodman. And Raffi said, had to go to your page to find the live and assign it on your live page. That's really annoying. Man, she says geography class time. I mean, that would be really bad news, Raffi, if they were not sending out notifications. That's how y'all know to come tune in. Let me make a note about that so I can look into it. Well, I'm glad I have y'all in the Discord so I can message you there. And I appreciate that you are there to get that message. So thank you very much, y'all. Whew, all right. Well, whatever TikTok is and is not doing, I appreciate the effort y'all have taken to be here. And welcome back. Fantasy Map Friday, my favorite day of the week. And Paige, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in, welcome in. I was just telling Aaron last night, I enjoy the writing streams. I really do. It's super fun. It's awesome to write with y'all and talk it out and whatnot. But on some level, writing is still like work for me. It is still getting up to do a work thing. This is just fun, y'all. This one's just fun. Um, oh, you know what? The map is on the wrong. I didn't. Man, I'm a mess today, y'all. I don't have my screens on in the right place. There we go. That's an easy fix, though. And get that nice and centered. Just tweaking my UI here so it looks a bit nicer for me. Don't know why it's not centering my map. It was last time, but now we're working the kinks out, right? Only the second ever map stream, so we're still figuring a few things out. But there we go. Impage says, oh yeah, I get that. It's good that you do what you love for work, but sometimes it feels like work. It's true. It's true. But nah, it's a good gig. I can't really complain. Hey, thank you for the follow, Zeus. Appreciate that. I think you're the first god to follow the stream, so welcome in, man. Glad to have you. How's your Friday going? Glad you got my offering and got the message to show up. Goodman says, is that the premium version of Incarnate? It is, but really the only thing that changes is the map size is bigger. This is a higher resolution map, and then I have more assets than the free version. But I mean, it's $25 for the year, so if I'm going to be streaming this every Friday, I think we can pay the $25 for it. Whew. All right, y'all. Let's how about a little recap? Let's talk about where we were last time. If you recall, if you were here last time, you might remember. If not, last time we started with a blank map here. This was just ocean, y'all. I can write it off on taxes for sure. It is part of, I guess you would call it advertising. Fall into that category. Raffy, you ready for more lore building? Well, let's do a little overview of that. Let's talk about it, y'all. Last stream we started with just a blank map, nothing there, just ocean, and we carved out this island. We gave it some shape, kind of talked about what should go where, why certain geographical features are happening. Didn't answer what's going on with these 3 little islands down here, but I'm certainly having fun with them. We'll figure it out. If you see the textures that are in here, these textures are all just stand-in. We're gonna fill them in with more complete textures, like what you see up here. So don't worry about the little bit of paint that's going on there. We're gonna make this a lot nicer. The whole map will look like this soon. And following up on the lore, like Raffy was saying, what we kind of created was up here, these 3 little areas. This is like Pirates Cove smuggling area, kind of some tropical rainforest running into mountains. Gilded Goblin, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. I like it. Some people come in and say good morning. Some say like, how's it going? Gilded Goblin just answers with, I arise. Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Happy Friday. We made it to another one. We didn't talk too much about this town last time, but we said it's right behind my head. We said it's kind of a secluded, defensive town up in the north, maybe not too welcoming to strangers, and right on this lovely little waterway that will lead up to the Smuggler's Cove area. And down here we have our port city. All the purple on the map is going to be a town that we're actually going to fill in. So we got a port city down here, and then a little offshoot here up at the river, kind of guarding this bay. And then we have 2 more population centers. We got one right here on we're going for like an agricultural center for this one. That's kind of the vibe we're looking at. It's up on this nice fertile floodplain area. Still tweaking my UI. I thought I had this fixed. And then there's one more down in here. Oop, that's not going to do it. Sorry, I minimized the window. There's one more down here. And this one we're saying is all ruins now. because the lake, we notice there's a volcano here. We're saying this volcano erupted sometime in the past and cut this lake into two, and the southern one now is drying up and turning all this into desert. So this is now abandoned. This is now ruins of a town. And yeah, so that's the map as it stands now. Y'all be thinking about the lore as we go through it. Drop it in chat because we're gonna build it together. I gotta fix this camera, y'all. On stream, the map is very centered on my monitor. It is like in the top corner, just barely visible by me. So give me just 1 second here. We're gonna try to figure out what's going on with that. It's set to window capture, so I don't know why it's let me change it over to this. Nope, that's not good either. I don't know why it's like that. It didn't used to be. Because like that's centered for this screen, for the stream. So y'all see that good, but for me that's way out of off center. That's gonna be really weird to work on the whole time. How can I fix that? I think we could do it like this. Alright, that's workable. Not great, but that's workable. Alright, we'll just roll with it. Alright, chat popping off there. What are you talking about? Let's see. Gilded, you're off work today. Hey, congrats. Rock on, you're off work and you're up early. That's a good day ahead of you. I'm excited for that. Rafi said you're low-key hyped for building the agricultural town. Hey, we can pop over there. We can start there with that work today. This little section right down here. Could do that. Impage said, I thought I had. Oh, this is a thought you had. What if that lake had two of those serpents? A lover that was hunted by other town. Interesting. So you're kind of thinking, are you thinking there's one in the top lake and one on the bottom, or two in the one lake that's still healthy? Bo, you like the changes since last Friday? Rock on, man. Yeah, I mean, this is where we left it last Friday. So not bad. I'm digging it. We're going to add a lot today, though. I'm downloading a picture at the end of each session so we can see, the progress basically week by week. Rafi said, is the beach all vacation type beach, or is it some sort of rocky, or some of it rocky and only good for fishing? That's a good question, Rafi. The island was kind of at like a different size ratio when I made the beach, and now the beach is like comically large. So maybe we need to do something with that beach today, because it is insanely big. If you consider like this is an entire town right here, and the beach is just the size of I don't know, an entire country. It's kind of nuts. Sleepy, hey, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. It is Map Day, Fantasy Map Friday. Let's go. Oh, Impage, okay. Interesting. I see that lore you're working on. Ian says a casual 200 miles of beach. Hey, look, Florida exists in real life and is like that, but it does look a bit out of proportion on this map. Hey, maybe that's where we start today. Maybe that's what we start with. We could fix the map, or fix the beach a little bit. Yeah, this is really messing with me. I keep looking to the side because I'm checking the preview. Let's see, I'm going to do something to try to fix this. I don't know why it wasn't like this last time. Like, none of the settings have changed. And yet... How could I do it, though? Giant Islands. Hey, Woogie, welcome in. DX Cavis. Hey, man, how's it going? Happy Friday. You said, do you have any tips on how to make your maps feel more full? I feel like mine are. There's a part 2 coming. Oh, giant islands. Sorry, I was waiting for the part two. It's already there. So you said, do you have any tips on how to make your maps feel more full? Mine are like giant islands. Um, I think it's just about you got to pick specific areas where things are going to go on, kind of like points of interest almost, and you just got to fill the gaps in with stuff that looks believable enough. Like if we go up here, we have kind of like this pirate cove vibe going on, and then there's really just mountains between it all. But you just got to put a couple hills and stuff in there to make it look like people can look at it and can imagine what might go on there. I think it's really just about tying together different points of interest on the map. Tommy boy, hey, welcome in, buddy. Ken, good to see ya. How y'all doing this Friday? Sleepy, you said maybe the northern part of the beach is more rocky, the closer to the mountains. Okay, I kind of dig that, Sleepy. I kind of dig that. Harpy, the music's a little too loud. I can fix that. Hold, please. How's that, Harpy? Let me know. Appreciate the sound check. I need like a sound check emote, so y'all can just hit me with how's the music doing? All right, sorry, I'm still trying to fix the discrepancy between what looks centered for you and what looks centered for me. Happy map making Friday, Sloyds. Welcome in, buddy. Let me try this, y'all. Bear with me just 1 second, because this is really messing with my head. It's going to be hard to work on a map for 2 hours with it all off-center like that. You can watch the stream change live. Watch the video get dragged around. Ah, I think I know what it is. I think I know what did it, y'all. I changed my scenes recently, and I think when I did it, yeah, see, look at all that blank space on the right side of the map. I left all that in there. That's why it's all off center. So now when I blow it up again, we're going to be just fine. Let me pull down a little bit on the top too. We don't need those tools in there. Okay. Okay. Now we're rocking and rolling. Let's go. That's what I was looking for, y'all. All right, I can be sane again. It was really messing with me. I couldn't focus at all. All right, so that I actually need to go this way so it's centered, I think. Nope, that made it worse. I need to go this way. There we go. Okay. Y'all, we got it now. We got there. We had the technology. Hey, it's only the second time of doing map days, so hey, we're still learning, you know. There we go. Okay, we're back in business. It's all set up. Let's see what chat's saying, y'all. A lot of chat going on there. I'm missing. DX, you said you always feel like you have crazy ideas, but trying to make the fantasy map logically sound messes with you. Hey, it doesn't have to be that logically sound. You can have fun with it. I think it's just kind of a practice thing, though. I think I'm also weak at the logic aspect of the map. Probably just practice looking at real maps. Good work on that. But also, you know, it's fantasy, so we're given a lot of leeway, right? Like, as long as it's interesting. If you look at some of the fantasy maps from classic best-selling series, it don't make any kind of sense. And that's all right, as long as it's fun. Goodman, you said, could it be a good idea to reverse the poles? Desert says tropical in the north and snow in the south. Hey, if we, you know, we could do that. We could do that. I don't mind that at all, honestly. That's kind of cool, since it's so tropical up north. Could be snowy in the south, kind of like a South America type vibe, you know, colder the further south you go. I like it. I like that. All right, so hold on. Let's try to keep those ideas in head. We're going to alter the beach because it's too big, comically large, and we're going to swap the poles. Warm in the north, cold in the south. All right, sick. Paul, welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. It is Fantasy Map Friday. Let's go. Gearbox, good to see you. AR, Senior Goat Man, everybody coming in. What's up, y'all? Senior, you asked, what is the overall idea for the island? So we actually are creating the lore kind of as we go. It's not necessarily fixed, you know? We are doing it ourselves, basically. Sorry, fixing stream again. We're just kind of making up the lore as we go, though. And, yeah, it's fun. So if you got ideas for it, please drop them in chat. But was it Sleepy who just said it? Someone just said, no, it was Goodman, said we should reverse the poles, have it be warm in the north and have it be cold in the south. And you know what? I kind of dig it. It kind of works like this. So we're gonna roll with that, I think. I've never done a snowy map before, so we'll have to get some snow going on. It's a cold desert down here, which would contrast nicely with the volcano. I gotta fixate on this. I'm so proud of this texture right in here. It just looks like a nasty bruise. It makes me happy in a grossed out way. It looks so appropriate for that sad, angry part of the world. DX said, is this supposed to be a country/island? What's the context? I don't know, DX. We're kind of building it ourselves. I think I would call this, in my head, maybe like a mid-sized, like, Caribbean island, kind of the vibe we're going for. Because I've thought of these, like, this little population center. This is like a medium-sized town. Let's go with that. It's not even a full-on city. And then up here, these are really just like smuggler camps. They're not even permanent structures. And the biggest city will be right down here on the bay. So I'm kind of thinking like it is an island that is dominated perhaps by this city right in here, which I would say is probably barely big enough to be classified as a city. Paul Hare says one does not simply walk into worm waste. Yeah, kind of Mordor-esque. All right, let's get to this beach, y'all. We said that we were gonna change it. I liked the idea of having the beach be a little more rocky toward the north. So maybe we stick some hills down here and make this a little more rocky so that the beach isn't just, I don't know, a 200-mile beach. It was, it's a product from when the map was new. So let's get some hills up in here. Go to my stamp tool and grab a hill, but I need to change the color on it. But I think, nah, it's not. I thought it was going to inherit the color beneath it, but it was not. So let's get a hill that will do that. Sorry, y'all can't see the tools screen, but there's a lot of hills here. Look at this sand pile. We got dunes, y'all. Perfect. So I think what I would like to do is have dunes closer to the beach. And then we're going to paint hills more so right in here. And it's kind of like showing that it's sloping down to a beach. Something like that. Just starting, we'll move it around. And now we need to grab, I still need some actual hills that are going to inherit color beneath them. So let's see. I just saw the sand dunes and got excited. Ah, I'm in the wrong asset library. That would be why. There's not the hills I'm looking for. Okay. Maybe something like this. It's a little too brown for me. A little too brown for my taste. Let's grab something else. How about something like... I like that. So I like this in color, but it's a little too pointed. If you notice the hills that we have going on over here. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Look, we're learning things as we go. I wasn't watching YouTube chat in the new layout. Cassidy, good to see you. Welcome in from YouTube, and Renegade Combat, thank you as well for being here. Excited to see more progress on Isla Caballito del Mar. Is that the name of it? What would that translate to? Caballito? I mean, it refers to a small horse. I guess what I was thinking, because caballo is like horse riding, right? Montar de caballo. And then de mar. Of something. I guess it would be Del Mar, probably. But what does that translate to? Of the sea? Oh, because it's seahorse. I should have got that. I should have been able to put that together. Hey, guys. Welcome in, YouTube chat. Thanks for being here. So you called it Island of the Seahorse. Kind of like that. Caballito Del Mar, I believe. Del Taco, says Manchu. Raffi asks, can I explain the difference between fantasy and progression fantasy again? Yeah, Raffi. So fantasy, I think we all know fantasy. Nothing too crazy there. I'm just gonna grab some hills while I'm doing it. I kind of like this one. Let's go ahead and delete these extra ones. So fantasy, we all know, right? Progression fantasy grew out of lit RPG, so it kind of came like lit RPG was more of a video game style genre. It was books that take place in video games. Think about like Ready Player One. As lit RPG evolved more and more, it started to take on more of the aspects of fantasy, and but maintained certain aspects of lit RPG like video game elements or standardized levels, spells having like actual text on what they did, etc. So to denote like that sort of thing, that sort of like it's fantasy but it has lit RPG elements, we call that progression fantasy basically. Another way to say it is it's just fantasy where there's a really hard magic system. There are set rules to how you gain power and get stronger. Yeah, so that's progression fantasy, I guess. The genre will change and evolve, so people will have different definitions as they go. But that's how it goes. I'm going to move this down a layer here because I want it to be beneath the trees like it's coming out of it. Good thing to keep in mind when doing these. Some hills like this one can go over top of the trees, but some of them should be under it because when you make it under it, it looks like the tree is, coming out of the hill. Bose is a lighthouse in the lower point of the beach. We could do that, maybe. Could do that. Sorry, I'm trying to... Rappy, you said, like I said, you misunderstand the meaning of progression in the term. I'll leave y'all to discuss that because I was not paying attention and don't know what you're talking about. Alright, so let's get these hills going. I need to clean up this paint as well. This is just a texture I painted in to denote what color this was going to be and to show that this is going to be forested hills. So we need to get more of these hills going on here. Just a little bit. A little bit of hills in here. I think maybe like this. We're going to call that our hill range. Say they stop running beyond that point. Throw one medium-sized hill into like right on here. And now we got to paint it because it's a standard background color. We want to paint it to match up in here. So I think that's this color with a little bit smaller brush. I don't know. Is this a good brush size? Should it be this big? A little bit too big, huh? Why am I not seeing my brush size? There we go. UI elements moving around on me. Alright, so let's paint it in like this. I almost kind of want to lower the opacity on it as well. Yeah, we're going to do that. It was painting a little too green for me. I don't want this transition to be... Like, it needs to be... This is a transition from forested hills into desert, right? So it needs to be... or not desert, beach. It needs to be kind of scattered throughout. So we're just gonna, instead of painting it, we're gonna click it in. Though I do need, actually hold on one second. We need to grab my standard ground texture, turn opacity back to 100. And we need to paint out all the little texture that I put in here to mark the hills. I'm just gonna get that out of here. There we go. Now we can go back to what we were doing. And our opacity back to 80. Cassidy, you said something in YouTube chat. Oh, congrats, Cassidy. That's fun. I hope that's going well. That's a fun advancement in the story. Hey, Aiden, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. How you doing today? Oh, thank you, Harpy, for the thank God it's Friday gift. How very appropriate. TGIF, folks. TGIF. Lewis says, let me be your uncle. Lewis, that might be a bit difficult. We are not related. Adopted uncle, perhaps, huh? Unless that is a term that means something that I'm unaware of, in which case I'm probably saying ridiculous things right now. Alright, I think that's painted decently. I don't like that second to last stroke. There we go, get rid of that. Step uncle. Alright, Lewis, we got it. Is it Lewis or Luis? Let me know. Maybe through the power of magic, says Impage. All right, so I don't, y'all, the conversion, you know, the transition right down here to beach is still a little bit rough for me. It's too sudden, right? We gotta smooth that out. So let's make our brush size a little bit smaller, and maybe grab a color that's in between the green that we're painting this and the sand of the beach. Something like that color. That's probably right. Ian, thank you for the donut. Appreciate that gift. Very kind of you. Very generous. And Luis for the follow. Thank you. Oh no, Rafi. Rafi, Ian stole the lead. You're trying to get back. Y'all fighting over that top gifter spot. Alright, I like that. We're going to paint just a little more mixture in here. I don't know if the desert color is doing it for me. That's not right. I want to get something between the yellow of the beach and kind of the green and brown we got going on here. Oh, you know what? Just super light application of the desert texture is kind of doing it, maybe. Oh, too heavy, too heavy. Let's turn the opacity down even more so my heavy clicks aren't going to ruin it. Alright, I feel like that's pretty good in there. It could be better in some areas, but I'm not mad about it. I want to clean it up right there. A little bit off. And where's my beach color? It's been so long since I made the beach that I don't have the color on hand. There's probably a color picker, right? I know there is. I've used it before. But I'm not seeing... Oh, wait. I just saw it. You go to color. Boom. Where's my color picker? Thought it would be here. All right. Well, we'll go to background instead, and we'll grab it out of here. Type in beach. I wish you could see the asset library, but it's hard to fit it all into a vertical invitation. Ooh, impage. That's smart. Look at that. There you go. Make the brush big, sand color, and click off the coast so the gradual softness will stretch inland. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. We're going to do that. Grab this. We're going to make the brush nice and big. You started Googling hex code, senior? Yeah, I feel that. Alright, so the problem with this is it's painting the water as well. Which I didn't think it would do. Do I need to be doing... It's because I was on background. That's why. There we go. User error. It normally is. I like the texture it's applying here to the sand too. Use the blend tool. Y'all, I have made several maps, but I've not used the blend tool. I've always blended by hand. I don't even know where it's at. Let's find it. Gotta be in here somewhere, right? Ooh. Y'all didn't see that. Ain't nothing happened there. Blur or blend, Raffy says. I found it yesterday. I'm not seeing it, Raffy. Is it in advanced settings? Paul, I saw everything. Obikia, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. It's not going to be stamped. It's not line tool. It's not shape. It's not text. It's not pathing. It's not notes. It's not grid. It's not filter. I feel like I've seen this as well, Raffy, but man, I don't know where it's at. Okay, Raffy, you'll go find it for me and let me know. I appreciate it. That's a good idea, though. Paul says wrong layer. Oh, that was probably from earlier, I think. Oh, no, Impage said wrong layer. That was probably when I was painting the background. There we go. I like how that's making the sand super smooth, though, like you're saying. Oh, I'm off screen. It's applying a texture, which I really like, making it kind of beachy, but it's also giving me just a nice, smooth gradient inland. Oop, that was a bit too much. Bit too heavy-handed. I still would like this transition to be a bit smoother, so we're going to do that same thing we just did, but with the green color coming in from here. Oof, that actually overrode a lot. Not a fan. That actually could be useful. I keep accidentally hitting that fill tool. Oh, Cassidy, I'm sorry, man. The YouTube chat's not visible. I'm gonna have to keep checking over that. You said, is this map for an upcoming story or just for fun? I missed that info last session. No, this is just for fun, Cassidy. We're just making this together. We're kind of figuring it out as we go, doing it ourselves. Not for any story or anything, just for us. I kind of want a little bit more of this green coming in here. There we go. Look at that blend, y'all. We're actually getting a pretty decent blend in there now. Because I want to be... The beach is a little bit too aggressive at the moment. I want to push it back a bit. I really like... Look at the difference there. You can see at the top, this is where we've been working on the beach. And then down beneath is where we've not worked, right? And you can see how the blend is just so much rougher down here. It's such a sharp contrast. I love it. Senior, you said, looks like I'll be here for a bit. My cat just laid down. I can't get up now. Absolutely. That's how it works. RP said this is where the Knights of Discord live. I like that. It's good logic. Good morning, Not Chase Garrett. Welcome in, buddy. How you doing? Happy Friday. We made it to the end of another week. Renegade, I know you're hanging out in YouTube chat. You're on deadline, man. I've been meaning to ask you. How's that going? How you progressing? All right, cool. We can push the beach back a little bit. Ooh, I just had an idea. Nah, that'd be too much desert. I was gonna say, since we're working with the beach being too big, I was gonna say maybe down here we turn this into just full desert. But I kind of think it'd be too much desert, right? Like, we don't want to... It's a lot of desert to have it stretch all the way from here up to the beach area. I don't know. I'll leave it up to y'all. What do you think? Paul says more beach means all more inclusive resorts. Y'all, these dunes are looking a little off for me. I think they might be... Oh, Chase, you got my book yesterday. You said you haven't read it yet, but you read the first page and was hooked. Well, thank you, Chase. I appreciate that. It's going to be hard for my book to compete with the LOTR special illustrated edition you just got. So please, enjoy that first. Paul, there are cold deserts. That definitely works. It just depends on what we're talking with for the geography. We could definitely have desert and snow if we wanted to. I could see how, having the snow kind of contrasts with the dryness of a desert. But it's a fantasy world. I'm not digging the dunes. What do we think, y'all? I think they kind of make the change a little too abrupt. It almost feels like they should be down where it's a bit more sandy. Like, they should have the full sand texture layer on them, and not on the edge of the green. Like, if it's going to be hilly up here, which is kind of what we were going for, it almost shouldn't be beach here. There should be hills to the ocean. Maybe we move them a little down here and have a nice beachy interior down here. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking, y'all. We do like this will be like the bigger beach. It's a little too big though. It's going too far inland. But like right down here, we make this like the nice thick part of the beach. Nope, too green, too green. Impage, yes, Antarctica is technically a desert. It's a cold desert. Um, but, you know, technicalities. Alright, I think that's good progress there for the beach. Let's get back to these dunes, which I was dissatisfied with. I'm going to put more hills up there. And move these dunes down here to like full beachy area. Yeah, Paul, you're from Florida, so snow is barely even real to me. Pretty sure it's just made up. Yeah, yeah. As a fellow, as a born and raised Floridian myself, who now is away for a little bit, I feel you, Paul. I learned a lot about snow living in Boston. That really changed my perspective on, because I lived on the beach in Boston, and it snowed on the beach, and that blew my mind, y'all, to see snow sitting on the beach with the waves crashing into it. I was like, how is this possible? I didn't know that this happened. 1992 Toyota Land Cruiser. Thank you for the follow. That's a good vehicle there, my guy. Hey, thanks for being here. Happy Friday to you. This is our Friday map stream, y'all. If anybody's new here, this is your first time in, hey, welcome in. This is normally what the stream looks like. And Monday to Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, we write on stream. We create together and talk about books and publishing and Q&A, anything you want to talk about in that realm. But on Fridays, y'all, we make maps. So we're making fantasy maps. If you don't know me, I'm author Alex Knight. I've been writing full-time since 2018. These are my book ones up in here. Top row is fantasy. Bottom row is lit RPG. And if any of them look interesting to you, please pop over to Amazon, check out a copy, see what you think. But for now, we make maps. Happy Fantasy Map Friday, y'all. Raffi, you said as someone born and raised in New England, I wish it was made up. Yeah, Cassidy, Antarctica is a desert. It is. Oh, I see what you're saying. A.R. Roslin, can you only paint to change the color of the land? Yeah, oops, that's on me. I accidentally painted the background. That's just sloppy work on my part. We can fix that real quick. Boom. There we go. I don't mind, honestly, the water having a different color to it around the shallows. But that was completely unintentional. It's painting foreground versus background. So like if I paint the foreground, see how the green, like I'm holding my click down this whole time, but it's only making green on the land. That's because I'm painting foreground. If we paint background, instead it'll do the green out here and not on the land. So that's me just being sloppy. Paul asked, did you say you were a New York Times bestseller? I didn't notice that. No, Paul, I am not technically a New York Times bestseller. You cannot be on the bestseller list as a small press or self-publishing. Several of my books, 2 of my books have sold well enough to make the New York Times bestseller list, but the self-pub and small press don't count in the rankings. So I do not get that title. 1992 Toyota Land Cruiser. You said I'm a snowplow operator here in Montana. I have the season off. Oh, well, congrats. I guess your season just ended. You were probably putting in some hard work, I imagine, during the snowy time. Chase Garrett says, my favorite map I've seen has to be George R.R. Martin's Ice and Fire map. It's small and simple with awesome details. Yeah, there's an art to it. There's an art to it, map making. And I'm not good at that. Oh, am I blurry? Thank you, Raffi. Thank you. Let's fix that. Come on, camera. We're having enough trouble with getting the stream working. We don't need you acting up. Solo, how's it going, man? How's it going? This is our Fantasy Map Friday. Happy Friday to you. We kind of take the day off and do a little bit of variety hour streaming. Do a little bit of map making. All right, so I need to work on these hills. AR, did you ask a question? You did. Where is it? I thought you did. You said I have a continent in my book that's completely snowy and frozen, so I was wondering. But what were you wondering? I don't see it in chat. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. It was because you're asking about can you only paint to change the color of the lands. Gotcha. All right. YouTube, Cassidy, you said I've been trying to decide what kind of car my character drives. I kind of want it to be a 1992 Toyota Land Cruiser now. Excellent username. Well, the Land Cruisers are decently expensive. I mean, unless I'm out of date on my knowledge, they're kind of a collector edition vehicle, right? Like, Land Cruisers run forever. Um, so I think if you made your character drive that, it's almost a little bit of a, I don't know if I'd call it luxury, but it's definitely up there in terms of, like, it's not, you know, baby's first car. All right, let's get these hills working up in here, folks, because we were going to cut down on the beach area. So let's do that. I know I just spent all this time making this wonderful this wonderful gradient, but we're gonna knock it out up here, and we're gonna bring the hills in a bit more. So I think we can move these hills, which are changing their color. They should move a little bit like down in here, because this is going to be the transition area now, and we can keep our standard color hills a little more up north. Y'all, I showed it off last week, but you can actually, with Incarnate, you can paint the hills like all in a line, and it'll randomly generate hills as it goes. Let's see if like we do this. It'll just generate them. Now, I've got my settings a little bit weird right now. That's why it's doing them too close. But that's because I don't like to do it. I like to do each hill individually. It's a little bit meticulous, but I don't know. Kind of just place it by what feels and looks right. Now, I know they don't. I'm not loving how they look at the moment, but that's because we don't have enough trees in here. You gotta like. Oh wow, it's really small. Let's grab trees of this size and plop those down. Hey, Cavis, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Like I said, this is not our normal fare, but it is our Friday fare. So every Friday we'll be doing this. Who is that? So, Impage said you could use transparent hills. Yeah, I would like the transparent hills. I thought... Is it these? Is this one the transparent one? I thought I had grabbed those last time. No, that one doesn't seem too transparent. I guess if I turn the opacity on it, that could do it a little bit. Or is there a specific hill that's transparent? I guess if I get off of Fantasy World and go to like Parchment World for the asset library? No, that's not going to do it. They're a different theme. Fantasy Regional, maybe? Nope, those aren't very transparent either. Impage, where do you grab transparent hills from? Because I know I've done it in the past, but I can't remember at the moment. Cavis, you got to head back to work? No worries, dude. Appreciate you being here. Always nice to have you. I realize that I stream early in the morning, and a lot of folks got work, so as long as y'all stop by for a little bit, that's all we ask. Harpy said, can you make trees different colors, or do they only come in green? I believe they do come in different colors. We'll take a look at that. Impage said, type hills in Fantasy World. Okay, so I'm in there. I've got the assets. It's just different hills. Like this one's listed as brown, and it's you know, it technically paints it a little bit up the sides there. Yeah, because that's where I'm pulling the hills from. Second set, second one. Hey, there you go, Impage. You got me there. Thank you for that. There's the transparent hills. All right. Let's go ahead and put those in. I like it. I like it, Impage. You're my Inkscape Pro here, Incarnate Pro. And now let's go grab some variations on them. We're gonna stick them on in here. They're a little bit big, so we're gonna make them small. They almost kind of look mountainous. There's some mountainous hills. Get rid of the old hills. Yeah, they're kind of mountainous though. Is there can we grab a set that's a little more rounded? I think this one might. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's exactly what we need. That's what I was looking for. So we're gonna plop those down. Oh, Tommy, I appreciate that, man. That's very nice of you to say. Hey, I'm happy if my stream can make your day a little bit better, man. That's exactly what we're here to do. Send everybody off into the world with some good vibes to start the day. little less variance in this hill type, but I'm digging it. I'm digging it. All right, now we need to make them a bit smaller towards the transition area. So we're just going to size them down just a little bit. Raffy said I'm like a good morning radio show. Tune in for the good vibes. Hey, I'll take it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I grew up listening to morning radio shows, so maybe that's where it comes from. I had like a 30-minute drive to school, so would always be listening to radio on the way. All right, now let's populate this with some foliage again. Go into our asset library. Let's type in trees. Because it was asked earlier if there are transparent trees. And I'm not seeing too many. Looks like they all kind of have a color they come with. Yeah, they're coming with a color. At least most of these are. Oh, that's super cool, y'all. Check out this, like, custom tree. What's going on with that thing? It's got clouds around it. That's a big old magical tree right there. I'm using a lot of basic assets in this, but they got some cool special stuff in there you can do if you want to get real fantasy with it. Reminds you of the Tree of Life in Disney. I can see that. Yeah, spot on, Image. That makes sense. No transparent trees, perhaps, but you can change their hue. If we go down here to Advanced Settings, look at this. We can totally mess with the color of it to make it what we need. You can also do saturation, brightness. You got the standard gamut there. You could really tweak that to fit exactly what it is you're trying to work on. All right, goodbye, Magic Tree. We appreciated you while you were here. Since, you know what though? Hey, Coach, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. The World Tree from Hunter x Hunter, says Cassidy. Yeah, I can see that. Coach, good to have you, bud. How you been doing? We've missed you in stream, but I'm glad you're back. I believe you said you were gonna be gone, right? Like you had said that you had something coming up. All right, let's put a little more trees around here. Now we got to get some diversity. Got to get these palm trees going. Maybe a few extra palm trees as we transition down here to beach. Now, what I want to do, I don't want to make this too sharp a change, but I want to change the hue of all of these a little bit. Or perhaps the saturation, because saturation's good where it's at. I want to make these a little bit more brownish and dry-y, because they're coming out of the fertile area into, not necessarily less fertile, but certainly more beachy, more sandy. Just turn that hue down just a little bit. Hey, Rook, good morning, buddy. Welcome in. How you doing? We're making progress on the map. We've been working up in this corner all day, and kind of filling it in. Who you calling Beachy? All right, I'm probably getting a little too detail oriented here, but we're having fun with it. Coach, you're busy, but everything's going good. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. You're ready for normal. You started a new project on Eastern Standard Time. You know, okay, so that's, yeah, it's hard if you're in Eastern. I feel like it's hard to tune in if you're in Eastern Time because my stream is very Central Mountain and Pacific Time focused, really, just as a product of the time that I had my schedule. I didn't really pick my time strategically, you know. That was just when I had the time in my day. All right, I kind of like how this foliage is thinning out as we go, but realistically, it's probably off in scale. I think if I were to do this map again, the hills and stuff need to be bigger and the trees need to be a bit smaller. So actually, let's just grab these hills and make them all bigger real quick. Not those. Those need to be small down there. So we're just going to stretch them out a little bit and then reposition them. Hey, thank you for the gift, Harpy. Appreciate that. 10 times popular vote. And y'all, since my UI is all off, I'm not used to looking in the right location. But holy cow, Harpy, Melissa Lee, Obikyo, DX Cavis, Aaron Winnick, and Coach Kyle, thank you for the heart meets. Thank you for re-upping the stream team. I appreciate that, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here all the time. It's nuts that you come in every day. I am so flattered that y'all come in. So I placed these hills after the trees. Or sorry, I placed the trees after the hills. So that's put the hills on a lower layer than the trees. So I just bumped all those hills up so that they are going to be over top of the trees, as, you know, hills tend to be. They're not very good hills if they're shorter than the trees around them. And then we're just going to fine tune it, just kind of move them all around, make sure stuff makes sense in here. This close-up reminds me of Farron Woods, Breath of the Wild, Zelda. You know, I watched my wife play through Breath of the Wild, but I didn't play it myself. Is that the woods with the where you find the Master Sword? Sorry, spoilers, I suppose. Is that what that is? All right, y'all, I'm pretty happy about that. What do we think? Maybe a little more foliage in there, a little more trees kind of throughout, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling good about this transition area. What do we think, y'all? It does, you know what, though? I'm pretty happy. It does look distinct from these mountains over here. Maybe even a bit too distinct. I think we might need to change its color just a little bit. Just really kind of fine-tune that color. It goes from those mountains on the top right now. They stand out so much because of their color. Just get a little bit more like that. I think what I want to do is I want the hills to be... These hills have given me a lot of trouble today. I'm really choosing back and forth on the hills. Yeah, I kind of like that better. The transparent hills are nice, but they're a little bit too different from the mountains over here. So I kind of want to change that up. Senior Goatman, he said those are the lost woods. Farron woods are less dense, more hills and cliffs with dense forest. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. So that would be the Lost Woods now that I think about it. You're spot on there. That name sounds very familiar. Impage, you said small brush change with the background. Small brush change the background. In order to change the hill color. I thought about that as a solution for it. So, you know, what you're saying is you grab a brush, go to foreground, make the brush size small, smaller than that even. And then just kind of just paint the hills like this. Yeah, that could work. That can work. A little bit too much detail work for my taste, though. I'm just gonna keep changing the hills out. Grab you. I got so many assets in here, it's hard to grab the specific ones now. There we go. We'll just fill these in. Let's take a look. Zoom out. How's that looking? Yeah, I'm digging that. I kind of like those. I mean, this one's too big. I wanted to make it smaller. Because these hills, you know, they are decreasing in size as they get to the coast, so we need to gradually make them smaller. Kind of like that. Impage, I feel you. I'm the same way with it. I could spend way too long trying to fine tune everything. All right. Well, I have been very bad about saving my progress today, y'all. Only 688 changes have been made since the last time I saved it. So let's save this real quick. All right. There we go. Progress nice and safe now. And then throw some more hills in here. We're almost done with this little area. Need some different shapes though. Like you, and then like that, and maybe like that. And then we're going to delete the old ones out. think there's one back here. Yep. And these are all very big, obviously. So, Ian, hey, have a good day at work, man. Hope your Friday is excellent. Finish strong and get to that weekend. Y'all, you doing anything this weekend? Anybody got any big plans they're all pumped for? Let me know. Let me know. I am very pumped to stay home and relax. I worked far too much this week. So this weekend is going to be very lazy, which I suppose increases the odds of a Rocket League stream. We could do that. Who knows? You never know. Keep your eyes out Saturday. I thought there was going to be playoff hockey, but my team doesn't play till Tuesday, so I'll be chilling. All right, y'all. What are we thinking? How do we like our little transition area? Impage, you got D&D going on. Let's go. That'll be fun. Senior Goat Man, you're doing a PowerPoint night with friends for my birthday tomorrow. Is that like that thing where you guys pick a random topic and you like make a ridiculous PowerPoint about it? Or is it the thing where you make a PowerPoint about a topic and then people don't know what it is and have to present that PowerPoint? Either way, that sounds very fun. There's been a lot of PowerPoint games I feel like going around lately in pop culture. All of them sound great in my opinion. Raffy, you said you hate watching other people play video games because it confirms how garbage you are at them. Man, it's not about being good or bad though. It's about having fun. That's how I try to keep it. I was really good at Rocket League, like top 0.1% of competitive players or something like that. Something ridiculously high in the rankings. I forget exactly where it was. It was pretty nuts. And when you get that good, the game becomes less fun. You're more concerned with winning and losing and strategy and stuff, and you don't have fun with it. And like, I'm here to have fun. Y'all, I'm so happy with this little hill with a tree right on top. Let's make it a bit smaller. But I really dig that tree there. How quaint. I want to sit underneath that tree and read a book. Look at the ocean. That's my favorite hill. Right there. That's my favorite hill in the whole map. That's Alex's spot. I'm claiming that one. Okay, so Senior, everybody's going to pick their own topic for your PowerPoint game. That sounds fun. You're going to teach everyone the Zelda timeline. All right. Raffy, you said I can't have fun when I can't play. I got a standing O for an assist on Rocket League. That's how bad I am. Dude, Rocket League's really hard. Rocket League's a tough game to get good at. There's a steep learning curve. All right, y'all. I feel like we've achieved our objective of kind of making the beach, a bit smaller. I'm pretty happy with that. I think we should move on to a different area for now. Where are we going next? Let me know in chat. YouTube, TikTok, tell me where we're going. Ben, you love the vibes? Hey, thanks, man. Happy Friday. Welcome in. Glad to have you. That's what we try to do here, man. We're trying to just put some good vibes in the world, get people, send them off into their day feeling good. Monday to Thursday, we do a different stream. We do writing. I write my book live on stream, and I invite y'all to create along with me. But Fridays we do map streams. Kind of our fun little thing. So hey, you're welcome in for all of them. Love to have you. AR said I always get stuck on the walls and ceilings in Rocket League. Yeah. It's definitely it is a learning curve to learn the game, and then once you get good enough to be on the wall or doing stuff off the ceiling, it's a whole other learning curve. The air game is a whole huge step up. Took me forever to learn it. Hey, thank you for the follow, Ben. I appreciate that. Super cool of you. Sorry, getting a message. All good. Nothing too relevant. Slindy said, can we do a PowerPoint live stream for Discord? I'll do my own too to make up for anyone who doesn't. Hey, that could be something, Slindy. That's what the Discord's there for. Hey, thanks for reminding me too, by the way. Y'all, if you have fun and you want to keep the good vibes going after stream, I'll just drop the Discord in chat right there. We are approaching 100 members in that little community. Let's get a live count, see where we're at. We have 94 members right now, guys. That's nuts. I didn't even want to make a Discord, but chat was asking for one. So we made one, and it's kind of popping off. So I appreciate it. The community keeps the vibes going even when I'm not on stream. Also, it's been a while, but House Blackfire, welcome in, my friend. Y'all, if you're a regular, you know the Asmongold counter goes up. We're at 28. House, thank you for coming in and mentioning it. We used to get those all the time. I haven't gotten one in a long time. Um, but I guess I didn't think I looked like Asmongold, but y'all keep saying it. So, House, by my reckoning, that is the 28th time it has been mentioned on stream. Every time it gets mentioned, I get that much closer to coming on with a wig, just a straight hair, long wig one day, and just saying absolutely nothing about it. Yeah, Ben says grow the hair out, and it's you. Unfortunately, Ben, I would not be able to get my hair to that point anymore. Those days are long gone behind me. We rock the beard and bald vibe these days. It is not an option. It's not a choice. It is a necessity. Ben, you used to have it to your shoulder? Man, it's fun to have hair, right? You can do things with it. You have options. Senior goat, man. You don't look like Asmongold. Asmongold wants to look like you. That's a good way to put it. I dig it. All right, so I had asked where to go next, y'all. Let me know what you think. But I saw Tommy Boy said snow, and someone else said ice desert, I think, right? Yeah, Harpy was calling for the ice desert. All right. Well, we had talked about making this cold down here, right? Um, so we could do that, y'all. I got a confession. I've used Incarnate for a while now, but I've never done anything with a cold setting. Um, so we're going to be learning together here because I've never, I mean, theoretically it's the same as everything I've been doing, but I've never used the cold assets. So we're going to figure that out. Impage, you said I got hair past my shoulders. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Coach Kyle, a year ago, you had a mullet that would make Billy Ray Cyrus blush. Rock on, dude. Ice desert backing a volcano is such an interesting landscape, says Senior Goatman. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Raffy, yeah, you got that long hair going on, man. I'm jealous of all y'all. Y'all in here making me jealous. The volcano in the desert. So if we make this cold down here, guys, totally doable. I like the concept. I think we're gonna need to do something with this beautiful little area that I'm so fond of. I feel like we have to give it a little more white, as if there's a layer of snow over top of this, because it's gonna look weird to have like cold desert and then just the black red evilness. Like this looks hot to me, right? So we're gonna need to change its color a bit, which would be sad. But look, the map's growing as we move through it. That's okay. So let's grab a snow texture. Maybe this one looks a little gray. Let's paint it with a full opacity first. Oh, that was brush size. Whoops. Full opacity. So that's, all right, that's what the snow looks like, right? I think if we can sprinkle it in, we could make it work. So let's lower that opacity a bit. And make that brush size a little bit smaller. A little bit too small. And unfortunately, I made all those changes before deleting my snow, so now I have to make them all again. There we go. Blob asked, do you ever make any dungeons? I've not made any dungeons, but that could be something to do in future. Hey, we're going to keep these map streams rolling. So we're going to have plenty of time to make more stuff, you know? Maybe a dungeon in the future. Monday Beardman says, this is what I saw in my head when making maps on graph paper in high school, how the times change. Yeah, it's pretty sick, right? Like, times change and evolve, but technology's great when it improves things. All right, what are we thinking of this, y'all? What are we thinking of making this kind of snowy down here instead of the desert we had going on? It's more of a snowy waste. I am very sad to lose the color in here. It was such a beautiful bruise color. I also probably need to change the color of these mountains a bit because they're not that transparent. So we're going to go into their hue and mess around with it a little bit. I need to get something kind of white. So maybe it's more of a saturation change. That just makes them look a little dark though. There we go. Now we're kind of getting something in here. We play with these sliders a little bit. Impage said could be a constant fight between the fire entity worm and the ice entity, something like Articuno. Yeah, I could dig that. Oh, Impage, there are snow versions of these mountains. Oh, sick. That would actually save me a lot of manual tweaking. Let's go find those. All right, so this is yes, there are, Impage. Thank you very much. Look at that. Boom, plop it right down. It doesn't have the darkness as much, but we can mess with it. Y'all are liking the battle. Okay, you're liking that idea of the battle between fire and ice, so we could totally do that. So here's what I'm thinking. Let me change these back to their original color. And what if, like, over here, you know, these are more red, and then they kind of transition to white as they get down here. So it's a snowy waste down in this area. But up right in here, the volcano's still got some heat going on. So this is a transition point kind of around here. Could even have some ice down here on this lake that's just drying up. Maybe that's going a bit too far. I don't know. But let's grab this mountain, but in white. So we're going to grab a couple of these. I need that little one. It's not quite that one. It's not that. Nope. I know it's one of these. There it is. And make it nice and small. Because we're just straight up replacing this one. That transition's a little bit too... I feel like the transition's just a little bit too sudden, you know? Alright, maybe we keep the mountains the color they are. And we just paint the landscape around them. Mess with the hue a little bit as they get in there. Kind of like, we turn the saturation down, turn the brightness up. There we go. Something kind of like that. Aaron says maybe a small area between the ice and fire. Yeah, I could see that. That has gradient. Yeah, we'll paint the underlayer with our gradient like this, a little more gently. Maybe like we can go ahead and mark it like, oh, you know what? It's painting over my desert though. That makes me kind of sad. I really liked that desert texture. Like I said, y'all, I've not done snow before. I've not done snow, so we're learning as we go here. Yeah, see, it's just such a stark difference. We came up with a cool concept here. It's just maybe a little beyond my skills. I can make the executive decision. Well, we know, first of all, that it's going to be snowy up in here. Like, we were trying to take away the beach aspect of it. So let's start with that. Let's start with what we know, right? So I'm going to make this brush nice and big again with the gradient decently low. We're going to paint foreground. And we're just going to kind of paint over that beach a little bit. Because it's getting cold right around here, you know? Oh, sorry, that was off screen, y'all. Jordan says, what if the snow is ash? Yeah, we could do something like that. I kind of dig that idea. All right, there we go. I kind of dig this. So we got beach over here, but it does transition to like full snow by the end. There we go. Harpy said, can you do more mountains leading down and away from the volcano? They could be snowy. Yeah, Harpy, I like that. I like it in concept. I was having trouble with the transition of the mountains to that color. Maybe if they were transparent, which I think do exist. Are these? Yeah, these are inheriting the color from what's behind them. So we could do something like that. Like if we take away that, kind of do like this, and then I want one more red one, but of that same shape, kind of like in here. And I need you a layer above. And then we mess with the color of these, so it's like it makes the gradient. It shows a gradient as it goes, basically. So hue's fine. We're not going to mess with hue. We're going to mess with saturation and brightness a little bit, and just a wee change of contrast. So like I feel like that's a pretty decent change, right? That's a smooth gradient we got going on there. So what I want to do is keep those settings for the next mountain. A lone mountain with poisonous snow surrounding it would be cool. Yeah, it's a cool thought. We could do that. Hey, Gio, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. How you doing? How you doing on this lovely Friday? You excited for your weekend? What's going on? Got anything special for? I'm asking too many questions of you. We got anything special for your Friday stream today? I'm trying to find what I feel like we need. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Get rid of you. I want something kind of small. You know, these mountains are really trailing off as they go, right? Sorry, y'all. I was working off screen that whole time. The vertical orientation does make things difficult. Okay, I'm kind of digging something like this. What do we think? What do we think? It's a decent transition point. Like it's not as smooth as it could be, but we're figuring it out. So how do we do ice? If we wanted to cover this lake in ice, because I want it to be like really cold down here, right? Like if we're painting this area, really nice and cold. And this is more of a transition area up in here, so we got a little bit of heat going on. Oh, thank you for the follow, Kyrie Greenleaf. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Welcome to our Fantasy Map Friday. Having a little bit of fun making fantasy maps today. We're making them together too, so if you got any input on the direction of this map, how we should be doing it, please, by all means, let us know. Kind of figuring it out together. Building the shared lore. There, we're turning our desert into more of a frozen desert down here. Gio said, morning, just woke up. Just a regular old Friday for you today. All right, rock on, dude. Well, that'll be a fun stream anyway. I'd like to find... Y'all were talking about like an ash texture. Something like that. Like, I want like a... Ooh, blue wasteland. That sounds good. Black rough wasteland. Let's see. Let me see what the blue wasteland looks like. Not a fan. I'm gonna try that black rough. I think like a very transparent application of this black rough could be what we need here. Nah, that ain't it. Oh, Kyrie, you just got Incarnate for a year. Very nice. About a week ago. It's so fun. It's such a good program. You made anything cool in it yet? I mean, I'm sure you have. There are some nice icy textures, says Sloids. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We got blue ice, turquoise ice. Okay, so that bright ice. I probably want, if we're going to do the ice on this water here. Okay, yeah, I kind of dig that. It's a subtle change. It might need to be a little bit more noticeable. But I don't think the ice would be particularly blue there. I think it would be very like ash covered, which is going to make it a little more stained, a little darker, a little messier. Yeah, I'm not really finding anything I'm loving here. Kate Kyrie, you've made a few smaller maps on the DM and a D&D campaign, so I need to make a lot of maps. Hey, there you go. It's so good for that. Um, that's super fun. We got a couple other DMs in here that hang out. All right, y'all. I don't dislike that color. Um, you know what though? I don't have to make it just ice, right? I can do an ice texture on it, and then we can just paint the background with something like this to darken it up. I'm not loving it, but it's definitely progress, right? It's not too icy, but let me do a little less opacity on it. All right, so we've got our ice in there, right? Well, I'm gonna say the bottom side of the southern side of this is frozen, and now we're just gonna darken it just a little bit. It still doesn't look particularly icy, but I'm gonna roll with it. Well, we can improve it later. Y'all, just a quick check. Here's our island in its entirety. Got a lot of work to go on it still, but working down here right now. Oh no, Kyrie, your full map's still on graph paper. Yeah, that's a lot of work to change it over. Um, I know we just had someone in chat that was recently doing that. That is a lot of work. All right, let's get back to doing this snow. Don't look at this little mountain. We haven't worked on that one yet. All right, I'm kind of digging what we got going on here with these kind of mountains. They're just maybe a little bit too crowded in. I feel like they're a little unnaturally shaped. Something more like that looks better to me. What do y'all think? And I'm using that mountain stamp too much. It's different. I need a different one. Wow, a lot of these look very similar. Maybe I'm not using it too much and I just think they all look the same. There we go. That's definitely a different one. There we go. Jack says, please make a detour through the mountain. Perhaps a secret tunnel. A little Avatar reference there for you. Yeah, we gotta have a secret tunnel in here somewhere, right? Jordan, I see you're a fan. Everybody's a fan. I love it. Ooh, you know what we could do? There are these snow-capped mountains in the same family of same stamp family of the mountains we're using. So we have almost these transition mountains here, right? These guys. We could do the red on this side, red right in here, transitioning here, and then these down here could just be full on like snowy versions. It might still be too quick of a change. Yeah, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. I'm getting too fancy with it. Oh, good thought. Raffy, you and your girlfriend think that every time you go through a tunnel, that's a good choice. I fully support this decision. All right, let's get some snow. Let's some more snow down. I want to really make it nice and bright white, right down in here. Around the base of this mountain, though, it needs to not be entirely bright white. That would stand out too much. Let's get a smaller brush, and we're going to just lightly apply a little bit of darkening around the base of the mountains here. Oh, that was not light, Alex. There we go. Just darken it up a bit, Kind of paint it on in. There we go. I'm a huge fan of that. There we go. That actually looks really good. Sleepy says it's coming along, fella. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. We've had a little less certain choices today. Last time we were very just like, boom, that's the idea, rock with it. We're kind of wishy-washy today, but I'm pretty happy with how we're progressing. Let's get that on camera. Slindy said Avatar: The Last Airbender, Teen Titans, and Code Lyoko were my jam back then. Slindy, we must be the same age, because that's, yeah, that was what I grew up on, basically. I feel like I've never ever talked to anybody about Code Lyoko. Like, did that show actually exist, or did I hallucinate the whole thing? Black Jin said, do you have a floating city? Floating city is required in every fantasy world. Well, Jin, these purple areas are going to be towns, so we have to finish creating those. So who knows? We haven't developed the lore too much for those. Jack, you remember Code Lyoko? Okay, so we didn't. It wasn't a shared. It wasn't my hallucination, but maybe it was a shared hallucination. I saw something about tall snow-covered mountains. And then full snow-covered. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd like to find those in. Y'all, I'm going to do something completely different for a moment, though. Bear with me here. Something this map is missing. So we need some deep water. It's all the same blue out there. We need to grab some deep water to show where essentially the continental shelf drops off. So if we go to the background, let's make our brush size big again. That's still not big enough at the scale we're at here. See, something like this, but we need a good transition point. So honestly, let's make our brush really big. Kyrie, please ask away, by all means. We are here to educate and learn and have a good time. Hey, find your smile. Welcome in, buddy. Glad to see you. Yeah, we're back to the map. Fridays we do maps. Code Lyoko was French. Was it really, Slendy? I had no idea. That would explain why it had different vibes, you know? It was fun, though. I appreciated it for that. Yo, how are we feeling about the darker water out here? I want to, like, you know, some areas should be a bit more shallow. I'm not sure I'm digging it. I almost think it needs to be, Yeah, Harpy, I appreciate that shout for the Discord. Let me drop a link real quick. Y'all, if you're having fun, if you like the community, you want to hang out outside of stream, well, there's our Discord link. Please jump on in there. It's a good time. We're up to almost 100 members now, which is absolutely nuts to me. But I appreciate everybody getting in there, having a good time with it. That's ice. Let's not put ice in the ocean just yet. Yes, find your smile. I do like the idea of making the lake a little deeper real quick. We could do that. Oh, wait, we're still on the ice texture. Need the deep water back. Right down like in this. Make this brush a bit smaller. Poison, hey, welcome in, by the way. I saw you popped in. Good to see you. How you doing today? That's too much. I went too heavy there. Oh, you like it, Harpy, right as I get rid of it? I like it in there, but I think I just went too heavy-handed with it. Let's do it a little bit lighter. Kind of something like that, maybe. It's still, the transition point's still too sudden, I think. Why are you changing that? Undo is being weird. Let's just paint it over with our watercolor. Poison, you didn't sleep well. I'm sorry to hear that. But you're happy to hear about Code. Yes, we were talking about Code Lyoko. Trying to remember if it actually happened, or but based on everybody in chat, it was a real thing. I felt like no one else watched that when I was watching it back in the day, and I was like totally on my own with it. Here we go. This is a softer gradient. This is kind of what I was looking for with this lake. We just want to suggest some deeper like that. There's one stroke I'm not happy with. Suggest that it's deeper, and then we'll grab an even deeper color and make a really small brush. That's actually probably going to be too small. And just give, you know, some real deep stuff right down in here. Probably went a little too heavy-handed. That has been my theme today. A little bit too much. Alright, maybe it's just good like that. What do y'all think? Do we just leave it like that for now? I think a little bit of touch-up on the sides, maybe, because smooth it out. That's the word I'm looking for. I was going to say gentle it out, but that's not really a thing, is it? Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm digging that. Oh, TikTok. It's time for the daily inactivity check. TikTok, I promise you, I am here. Kyrie, let's see. Where was your question? I missed it earlier. You said, I want to create a world where the magic becomes unstable as the players are roaming the world, but it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes spells are stronger, but sometimes a spell won't work. Do you think the players would like it or hate it? Is it dumb? I think it's a fun idea, Kyrie. I'm less DM experienced than a lot of folks in chat, so I would defer to them who to think about concerns of gameplay. As an author, I can, you know, shape the whole world as I see fit, but gameplay is a little different, so I'd leave it to the DMs on that one. I think it's a cool concept. It's definitely a cool concept. The question is, would the players get annoyed by things not being the same? And it's a fair question. If nothing else, it's cool world building. Y'all, I feel like the shores of this lake, you know, we had done a desert effect on them. I think we might need to pull that back a bit now that it's kind of dark around here. I feel like instead of desert, it should now have a little bit of blackness to it, you know. But let's make the brush bigger again, because I want it to be a smooth transition, kind of like that. There we go. I'm digging that now. That's an evil-looking lake we got going on down there, y'all. It's got like an ashen shore with ice, dark stained ice around it. What a mess. Not a nice place to hang out. We still got to do the transition point of these mountains because they're still not quite right. Maybe that's something to figure out next time. All right, let's do oh, Coach, you're loving the new on-screen graphics and animations. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I'll give you a quick tour of them. We got it, you know, got the combined chat going on, so I know it's a little bit crowded for the TikTok folks, but the main logic there is that the crowd on YouTube will be able to see what y'all are saying and talk to you, and you talk back to them. Not a big crowd on YouTube, but it's growing, so that's why that chat's there. And if I ever clip anything from stream, we'll be able to see what chat was doing during that time. But yeah, we got new text boxes going on. Got those applied throughout. Cleaner background. I got a better like digital background now, so I can lift my arms up and it won't obliterate the background like it used to. And then we also got full-size covers we can click through. So yeah, some fun stuff going on here. I'm digging it. I'm glad you're liking it too, man. All right, back to this map. Let's see. Oh, I did not know what I just did. There we go. Yo, I kind of want to make this town down here now since we're painting over it. You know, it's getting removed. Let's get that down there. So let's go to our asset library. I think we were pulling from Parchment World for our towns. Yeah, that's where we were pulling it from. All right, so this is going to be ruins. Yeah, and they got something for that. Not too much, but a little bit. You know, we got, if we zoom in down here, oh boy, that is a tiny stamp. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'm not digging that though. That's just more like a mark on a map. There's probably a better library to be working in. Let's do Fantasy World is too detailed. Maybe watercolor. Have a good one, Aaron. Y'all, Erin's heading off to work. Everybody wish her a good day. She's got to head downtown for an event. She's going to a first robotics competition in downtown Houston. Super cool. It's like Boy Scouts for science almost. They're building robots and like competing and making them do different tasks and stuff. It's super cool. I didn't know about it until later in life because it sounds like an awesome thing to do. All right, I'm not seeing too many ruined assets that I like in a lot of these maps, so let's... Oh, that's pretty good looking. That's kind of cool. It doesn't fit the vibe of the other town we did. Because, you know, we're going with kind of this style. And like these here. Goodman, you said, thanks for saying bye to Aaron, everybody. Appreciate that. She's going to have a good time today, I'm sure. Goodman, you said, out of curiosity, how do you come up with city/village/town names? I always struggle with that part. So what I do is I base them on an overarching... They have like a theme, right? They have like a cultural theme for what the civilization they come from is. And what I'll do is I'll look up real-world city names or town names from cultures adjacent to it, and I'll look at the structure of how they make their words. Like as an example, how can I quickly pull up a text box? I guess I'm not really equipped to do that. We can do display capture. Get rid of the infinite Alex. And we can go to my drive and just open up a Google text doc. Y'all can look at my my background for a minute. Here we go. Okay, so let's say, as an example, in Servant of Rage, I based the culture on Mongolia. So I looked at the way they made their city names. So like the capital is Ulaanbaatar, written like that. We need to make this a lot bigger so y'all can see. There we go. Ulaanbaatar. Notice the repetition of the two A's, right? That's clearly something they use in their language. So if I were going to make a name in it, or make a place name here, I would probably start with a prominent U-ish letter, and then I would probably have a double A structure in there somewhere, or I would come up with the idea of like hot swapping the A's. Say everything that is a double A in a Mongolian name for the fictional culture, we'll make it, I don't know, W, or not a W, but a double the letter U, or maybe like a double Y. Just kind of pick a letter, and you can recreate the structure of the place name with your fantasy elements. So yeah, that's kind of how I do it. Or like I noticed that they use the KH construction a lot. I just changed it to GH in my world. And just doing little changes like that will help you kind of create a bit of internal consistency when making a fantasy place name. All right, back to the map. Hope that helps. Coach Kyle, you said my son was really into robotics. He competed against high schools throughout middle school. Then we moved and became less, chat scrolled on me, less involved at the high school out here. Our high school team has won state and got a nationals. Hey, rock on, dude. That's super cool. I'm sorry he's less involved with it now, but super cool that he was involved with it so heavily. It seems like a great program. First robotics in general. Hope he finds his passion for it again if that's what he wants to do. 4-6, hey, welcome in, man. Happy map stream day. Fantasy Map Friday. Impage says a coast. changing ghosts to coast because of what I was saying about language. Goodman says that was some great help. Thanks much. Appreciate it. Never thought back to look at real world naming for bases. Yeah, yeah. You just kind of base it on things that already exist, right? And kind of go from there. That's my quick tip for it. Also, Coach, I wanted to say it's pretty sick that your son was involved in all that. I mean, I think that speaks to some good parenting. That he was one competing at such a high level, but doing that, for fun. That's super cool. Oh, okay, he got way more in the computer science and programming sides of it. Okay, hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, y'all, we were trying to do some ruins down here. Looks like there's only 2 assets in this particular library. So let's see if we got one that's a little more. We could do something like that. Let's see what else we got. Something like that. I'm liking this one better. I'm liking this library a lot better for it. My only question though, y'all, is if we do ruins, because we're gonna do ruins down here for this area. If we do them kind of like this, does that just look too different? Is that not cohesive with what we've done here? Like this is a bit more of like a stylized rendition of a town. It's like a map marker almost. Whereas our ruins down here are a bit more literal. I think that's a little bit anachronistic. No? What do y'all think? I'm going to let y'all debate that for a minute because I need to get back to working on our deep water. I got distracted, never came back to it. Get our brush size a lot bigger. Opacity, I'm going to turn that opacity down a bit. And paint background. I love painting like this, y'all. It feels like actual, it's less placing stamps and a bit more actual painting. It feels lovely. Seeker, you like what you're seeing, huh? Turning out just fine. Glad to hear that. What is this texture? I just need to lighten this up a little bit in here. It's a little bit too dark for my taste. Needs a little bit of internal variation. There we go. We're getting real fancy with it, but I'm kind of a fan. All right, back to the other color. Now we're gonna smooth it over with it. With a lower opacity here, it'll just kind of blend things in, almost like you're pushing wet on wet paints around. Really like that. All right, and now that we've got the depth of the water sketched out, what we need to do is we need to bring these coastlines in to areas where they would realistically be shallow. Geo, you said the left side's looking kind of lonely. What if we plop a tiny island off to the left? Over like here? Is that what you're talking about? We could do something like that. We have a couple offshoot islands already. So I don't want to do too many. I kind of hate these islands too. We'll talk about that, but I might just like obliterate those at some point. I think they're a bit confusing and I don't like their shape. Keep the icons consistent, Geo says. But Impage says, I like the ruins a lot, but should be kept consistent, so one should be altered. Yeah, I agree. I like these. I like the ruins a lot, so I almost feel like we have to change the icons up here to something else. So maybe we do that. Find Your Smile said, is there a waterfall somewhere? We could definitely put a waterfall. You know what? Find Your Smile. Look at this little land bridge that just kind of happened there. That's a perfect spot for a waterfall. We can do that real quick. Boom. Well, we'll merge that into the environment a bit better, but I kind of love the concept of having a waterfall right here. And this is just painted on. This river is very temporary. We'll paint a full one in there pretty soon. But I'm going to drop that stamp so we remember to go back and work on it. Titus, you said, I occasionally tune in on weekdays before work when you write. Is this a map for one of your books, or just making a map for the love of the game? Hey, Titus, welcome in. Glad to have you, man. This is what we're calling Fantasy Map Fridays. We're gonna do this every Friday now, and it's not for a book or anything. We're just kind of making a map together, having fun with it. A little bit of a treat for hitting that Friday. Find your smile. You like the idea of that far off island? Okay, well we can do that. If y'all, hey, look, we're making this map together, so if that's what y'all want to do, we can do it. Coach, different icons could represent different cultural influences. It's true. It's true. They could. Let me finish with the coastline, or the depth of water here. We're gonna touch that up, and then we'll put that island over there y'all are talking about. So we're gonna smooth out where this is shallow. So let's get that brush size down. Keep that opacity low. Jorge says, this is Jorge or George, you let me know how to say it, said, this sounds fun, just making maps for the love of the game. Yes, sir. That's what we're doing here. It's a good time. I am definitely a fan of it. Y'all, I talk about these map making streams all week long. I'm so pumped to get in here and do them. Writing's fun, and I love my writing streams. I'm really glad that y'all tune in for it. I'm glad people find them helpful. But writing, as much as I enjoy writing, it is still on some level work for me. So getting to do this is we're just playing now, man. We're just painting. Oh, thank you for the follow there, Tilt Machine. Appreciate that. Tilt, do you play pinball? Is that where that name comes from? Let me know, man. I'm a pinball player myself. Seth, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Y'all, thank you. That's so kind of you. I'm glad you're having a good time. Just hanging out, doing our Fantasy Map Friday. Oh, that's a bit too heavy-handed. We're going to come back and lighten this up, too. So, all right, let's catch up on chat real quick. Yeah, Harpy. I like that lore. It's the land where the knights of the Discord live. Sloyd, you said it would be cool to do a writing exercise with a story that takes place in this world and then post them. Yeah, totally. Hey, y'all are more than welcome to as well. It's as much your world as it is mine at this point, so by all means. Seth, you said, I want to start a book series. How do you remember every detail so that you don't make any mistakes for the next book? Seth, I try to, main thing is I write them all down, keep them in the notes, decently organized. But then I try to keep the details relatively slim, and I save really important details for really big things. Don't have too many nitty-gritty details in your world, because that's too many balls to hold up in the air. Keep juggling or plate spinning. Save those for just the really important things. I think that's a good way to do it. And then just take notes. Keep notes on places and people, culture, stuff like that. Harpy says I'm going to keep hinting at the Discord like it's my job. I appreciate that, Harpy. Y'all, if you don't know, we got a little community Discord hanging out behind the scenes. I just dropped the link in chat. If y'all want to hang out with this community, keep the fun rolling when I'm not on stream, that's a great place to do it. We're approaching 100 members on it now, which is honestly insane. I don't know how we got that many people in there, but thank you, y'all, for being there and being active and having a good time with it. It's super fun. So feel free to copy that link and jump into the Discord if you want. Kyrie Greenleaf, you said I got to get up and be a productive adult. Ugh, but I am in your Discord. Hey, rock on! Thank you. Glad to see you. I hope you have fun in there. I'll come say hi once the stream's over. Tilt Machine said I do play pinball, but the name was more when I would get mad, tilted at games. I'm reformed now. Hey, fair enough. I feel that. I'm glad that you're reformed now. Welcome to the reformed side of things. Oh, goodness. Poison said, imagine having to write something like Bridgerton. So much to recall. Yeah, absolutely. That would be very tough. Especially because, y'all, that's why I stay in the fantasy realm. I get to kind of make up my details and stuff. When you're writing, historical fiction, you have to be accurate, man. That's a lot of research. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of. And you think of, stupid things like, oh, well, how do they... At what time of day would they light the candles in the house? And you have to know details like that. That's crazy, man. It's fascinating, but that's a lot to know and keep up to date on, you know? Fantasy, you just make it up. It's a lot easier that way. All right, right now we're just painting in this transition of the water from shallow to deep, just smoothing that over a little bit. I really believe in the idea of just painting a lot of different layers when you're doing stuff like this. Maybe that's because my only experience with like physical medium art is with wet on wet painting, but I really like doing it that way. It just creates such a natural gradient, such a natural kind of mixing of colors. Also, I have absolutely no experience in color theory or anything like that, so this is kind of a cheap, easy way to do it. Yeah, slowly, layer after layer, that's the way to go. It makes things look good, it makes you look like you know what you're doing. Alright, let's save these changes. Got a lot of changes here. Coach Kyle says the writing exercise for the island lore should begin in the Discord. New page/group in there. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a huge fan of that. Y'all go for it. Drop it in writing share. Just you can start it in there. That'd be totally fine. Could make a channel for it if we need to, but I think writing share is a good place to start it. Ronnie said, speaking of, how was your pinball opening night? Oh, the launch party. Yeah. Thanks for asking. It was good. It was pretty sick. Y'all, if you don't know, on Tuesday, I was able to be a +1 to a. Let's see. I'll pull an image here. I was able to be a +1 for the launch of Dune. That's not a good way to show the image. Hold on, we can figure this out. Go here for a moment. I don't know how to show this really. I guess I'll just pull up one good picture. We'll just do that. And we're going to go display capture. I have to for these map days, I reverse my screens. So all of my stuff is backwards. So if it takes me a minute to get things going, y'all, that's why. Yeah, so if I've talked about it a little bit, y'all. I play pinball pretty actively, and I was very lucky to get to be a +1 for the launch of the new Dune machine on Tuesday. Brand new machine coming out. It is an absolute beauty, beautifully atmospheric machine. Y'all, it's so cool. If we look at the playfield here, look, they got a thumper and a sand dune. If you're a Dune fan, it'll thump to like attract the sandworms for certain modes. And the coolest feature is not visible. There's a giant sandworm up here that you can't see, and it will capture the ball for multi-ball, and the ball sits in the middle of the worm, and then the worm comes up and like eats it and starts multi-ball. It's super cool. Incredible table. And look at the artwork on it. Like, it's such a beautiful table. Oh, and y'all, best mode in the whole thing. If you know Dune at all, you know like the pain box, you got to put your hand in, right, and not pull your hand out. So right here, there is a left out lane. The ball can drain and make you lose the game. But there's also a little hole that you can lock the ball in, and it'll just stay there. And if you're playing the game, you're like, what's going on? I don't really know why the ball stayed there. But if you lock a ball in there and then you drain later in your ball, this blue button lights up, and you put your hand on it, like the pain box, and you're in the pain box mode. You have to keep your hand on that button, and it will shoot out that ball that you locked earlier, and you have to play one-handed with that ball, and if you hit a specific shot, it puts you back into the game. Like, you earn your way back in despite having drained. And y'all, it's really hard. I've played one-handed in the past for fun, but typically you put a hand behind your back when you do it, right? And that means that you can move your other hand. You know, if you're on the flipper, you're like this, you go to the other flipper, you can do this. But when you have one hand in front of you, it gets in the way and it messes you up. So anyway, that was an incredible machine. They did such a great job on it. Shout out to Barrels of Fun for making a beautiful Dune machine. Anyway, that's there's my little pinball divergence for the day. We'll go back to our fantasy map. But yeah, if you see that on location, if you see it at an arcade next to you, go check out Dune. It is an absolutely incredible pinball machine. Should be heading to an arcade near you soon. Yeah, that there's so many detailed modes in Dune. That they just did such a good job with that machine. I'm astounded by it. I had to rewatch the movies ahead of time, so I like knew all the I was able to appreciate all the cool stuff they did. All right, one more round of paint in the water here, and I think the water will be we got it. We'll do the shoreline a little bit, but I want to do like the real deep water real quick, the real dark stuff. Yeah, that's the color I'm looking for. All right, let's just the real outer edges are very. We're going for the super dark, super deep water. That was a bit too much in there. There we go. Real light hand for this one. You can't get over the top with it. I tend to do too much. Nope, a little bit much. There we go. We'll rock with that. I think it could probably be smoothed out a bit in some areas though. I'm kind of not liking kind of not digging it. Nope. Lower that opacity. Harpy said there was a bar in Portland, Oregon. It had 2 floors filled with pinball machines. I believe I spent more time there than in my apartment while attending culinary school. That sounds like a good place to spend time. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I didn't know you went to culinary school, Harpy. That's sick. Do you work? Do you work in restaurants or cooking, anything like that? All right, I promise we're almost done with the water. I will get carried away. I'll do it too much. All right. All right. It's interesting. It looks a little bit better on my screen, and then I look at the preview on my other monitor, and I can see the layers are not as smooth as I want them to be. Yeah, Impage, a collaborative writing effort for the lore of this world would be cool. We're kind of doing that, making it on stream, but no one's really writing it down. But they were talking about in the Discord, talking about it in there, so we could make a channel for it. Could be fun. Um, I'm down for it. All right, we're gonna call that good for the water for now, except for the deep water. But let's smooth up these coastlines, y'all. Where do we think? Dax said, "I thought you were playing the new RuneScape game dressed as a bot. Don't look like a default character with the green shirt." Hey, welcome in, Irv. Appreciate you being here. Cassidy, you've reappeared on TikTok instead of YouTube. Happy to have you back. Irv, glad you're having fun, man. This is our Friday map stream. We don't always do it just on Fridays. Rest of the week we do writing sprints. I write my book live on stream, and I encourage y'all to write along with me. But for Fridays, we make maps. We're using incarnate.com. It says it there at the top of the feed. Wonderful website for making maps. I have a ton of fun with it. Yeah, Dak, this one's not for anything in particular. We're just kind of making it together for fun. But you could absolutely use it. I mean, hey, a lot of the folks in chat use it for D&D. Can totally do that. All right. I wanted to just kind of finalize these coastlines a little bit, the shallow water area. I feel like you definitely have shallow water along the beach here, because like that's why the beach would be forming. It's not cliffs, but up in here it's got to be deeper water, right? Because like this is all coves and mountains and stuff. That's coming from water being deep, though it is topography running right up to the coast. So this water's got to be a darker color in here. Kind of like that. Don't love that. Dax said, "Do you have your maps available?" No, I just have a personal Incarnate account. I can make them for download on the Incarnate marketplace if anybody wants. Um, no reason not to do that. Just haven't done it yet. All right, how are we liking that for the water? I think I could fiddle with this all day, so I need to move on from it. Alex, we got to move on. Harpy, you answered my question. You said, I got out of restaurants. The pay was never great and the work was rough. I'm a private chef. Oh, private chef, Harpy. There we go. I think you've made it to the promised land. That I don't know much about the industry for what I've seen. What I've seen, private chef's where it's at. Oh, thank you, Dak. I appreciate the follow, and I appreciate you liking the maps. Yeah, I can, you can set them as public on Incarnate if you want people to be able to do stuff with them. More than happy to do that if anybody wants the copy of the map. Hey, Kyle on YouTube, there it is. Hey, good to see you, Coach. We got 2 coaches with us today. The coach clone. Okay, talking about depth of water here, folks. What do we do with this point? This like point that juts out, because we have beach, right? We got our shallow water beach right in here. Around this point, to stay shallow, or we want it to get deep again? I feel like almost a neutral is kind of the answer. It's not. It's like, it's kind of a medium depth. Nothing too crazy. What do you think? Let me know. Neutral? Yeah, I like the neutral idea as well. I also like for these little islands, sorry, I was painting under myself. I like for these little islands here, the thought that they kind of run into the deep water. So like not a lot of shallow around here. I like the idea of like you stand on this island, it's basically a mountaintop in the ocean, right? It's just a drop off into like abyss down beneath it. Some dark water in here. Because it's stretching so far out from the rest of the island. It's really out on its own. Something kind of like that. Yeah, it should be scary standing at the tip of this point. Cassidy said that area looks super ominous, so thematically I want to say super deep. That does make sense. That does make sense. We can make it a little deeper in here. There we go. I'm a fan of that. Yeah, Impage, you're right. It is mostly ice. Good point. So let's stick a little ice down in there. We can do that. Let's see. We need to paint it as background, so we're going to paint it underneath this. And we're going to put ice. Ice, ice, baby. Because this... Oh, you know what? We could even connect these a little bit. If we're making it really cold, have these connected by ice. That's actually sick. I kind of love that idea. Let me get a better ice texture for that. Yeah, mini Antarctica. There we go. Look, it's getting real cold real fast down here. Maybe a little bit too fast, but I'm excited about it. Is this strictly geographically possible? I'm not sure. Is it cool? Yes. Rule of cool. I think that ice color was too bright. Maybe some like sea ice? Nah, see, that's just wrong. I don't have a lot of dark ice colors that I'm liking. If it's too dark, it doesn't look like ice. I guess we'll just stick with the ice we've been using. Chill out, says Impage. Yeah, we got a lot of that going on. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this the color we've been using. And then I'm just going to go over it with something a little bit darker. Stain it up a little bit. With a foreground paint. And a low opacity. And a big brush. Actually, should be background for this part. I'm gonna have to redo the coast a little bit if I do this. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I agree with you, Coach. Lighter ice, and then we use the background color. Yeah, the ice. It should be a bit more vibrant blue. This is honestly my first time working with a cold environment in Incarnate. All the maps I've made have been for tropical stuff. Um, so I'm really kind of learning as I go for this. Yeah, I love the idea of the ice connecting the land masses. I just kind of want to show it a bit better. Because like it's there, but it just looks like shallow water at the moment, you know? I don't know how to show it more. What we need is full opacity, or I guess no opacity. Um, and I need to get ice like as a texture, so it's kind of like that. But we have something like this. That doesn't look like ice to me. There we go. I'm kind of a fan of that. It's a little bit bright, but that could do it. That could do it. We'll darken it up too. See, I don't know. I don't like it I like it in a vacuum, and then I put it on the map, and I just don't think it looks very icy. Is there something else I could use? You think it's good, Coach? All right. Well, if chat likes it, we can leave it. And then we'll cut it away. We'll shape this out. Color saturation would help appearance. Well, then we need to go. That's all background, so I could darken it a bit, but I can't change the saturation. Oh wait. Yeah, nope, I can't. Yes, I can. It's just deep it. Oh boy. That was terrifying. Let's not do that, maybe. Yeah, the green of the islands is definitely off. That's something we'll fix. I like that. Um, why is this changing everything? I'm just trying to change what I painted. I guess it's changing it for the whole background. Yeah, so I can't change it for the specific ice texture. That's a shame. It makes sense, though. Yeah, oops, I accidentally changed the whole map. Well, let's go ahead and do these islands. I do like that idea. Because when I paint those the correct color, they're gonna make the water look a bit better too. And then we'll put some mountains on them because they have to be mountainous here in order to be out of the ocean, you know. All right, quick save because I've got about 1,000 changes I've made in here. Don't want to lose those. My one regret with Incarnate is it doesn't have an autosave feature. But that's not a big deal. I'm just spoiled because I'm so used to working with autosave and all of my other programs that I forget that I do need to press Control S once in a while. Oh, love that. Love that mountain. We'll tweak these mountains, but we're just gonna we gotta get something slapped down there initially. Gonna make them a little bit smaller. Oof, that one is perfect. It really fits the curve of the island, right? I dig that. And make this one a little bit smaller and layer it up. Yo, I'm kind of digging that. That's a sick little island down there. Now let's get these cleaned up as well. I kind of like just having two on this one. Just a calm two little mountain island. And now we need some more up in here. This is... But what type? Ooh, I love that. I love that pointing off to the side. Kind of like that, maybe? Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Let's flip it horizontally. Boy, that is a pointy island right there. Yo, I'm very happy with those. Those islands just came to life now. Look at that. Look at that. Quick save on that one. I don't want to lose any of that progress. Good suggestion there, Smile. That really, yeah, right? It made everything work better. I was just going to say that, Impage. Snowifying those islands really makes it. Okay, look. Now let's look at this map. Look at that. It's rough in some spots, y'all, but we're working it. We're getting there. The island continues to grow. A lot of rough areas to work on. All right, let's do these ruins. I said I was going to do that like an hour ago, so let's do that. I need to finish off getting rid of the purple texture because that purple texture was just a stand-in to say there's going to be a town here, a ruins of one. So we're going to do that. Senior, I'm glad you're liking it, man. Look at the, yeah, seriously, look at the progress we're making. Yeah, we're doing a good job. Hey, note to self though for future map streams, I need to make the island not run right to left, like it comes down like this, right? I need to make it run the other way because it is hard to display it. Like it needs to like almost be cut out around me. Hey, Smiley, welcome in, buddy. We are doing our Fantasy Map Friday. We make fantasy maps together. We're streaming every day. Most days, though, it's like writing. I do writing. I write my next book on stream. And then we talk about books, publishing, writing, any questions you might have about the industry. But on Fridays we make fantasy maps, my dude. So we've been making this. This is 2 Fridays worth of work so far, and we've been making this together. Pretty sick. I'm really a fan of it. So let's get these ruins going. Oh, you're good, Senior. I appreciate you, man. All good. I understand you all got to work. I'm just glad you're hanging out. Smiley says Star Fort. Yeah, something like that. So the lore that we've developed for this place, because we just kind of talked it out as we were going on stream. Let me get that in frame a bit better and not directly behind my head. The lore that we've kind of come up with is these 2 lakes were once connected, and this volcano erupted, putting, you know, magma, which became fresh land between them and severing them, and then the bottom lake began to dry up, and because it's super cold down here, freeze over. So the north one, still doing good. South one is drying up, freezing over, and there used to be a town down here, and it's now fallen into ruin because what was once a nice place to live has now become barren, snowy wasteland. So we're going to put a little ruin there. Probably these assets are a little big. Let's put them down like this. And we're just going to spread them out a bit. I guess they do look better when they overlap each other, though, don't they? Makes it look more like it was actually a thing and not just textures placed. Ah, Smiley, you said I need a major port city. Well, check it out. The purple denotes where we're going to put civilization centers. And there we go. There's your port city. It's going to be right here with a bridge spanning the bay. And it's going to be right up in here. So yeah, we haven't made it yet, but yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Rico, I thought it was rice. They are very big compared to the mountains. The scale is a little off. I'm very bad at doing scale in these things. I really want these to be almost less than a literal representation of the city. It's more of a representation to show that it was there, you know. The problem is I often mess up the scale when I make these, so it's something I'm learning. If it's this big, right, theoretically you have to pick, not theoretically, very literally, you got to pick a scale that your map is meant to be viewed at. And my problem is I make it super high def, so we could zoom all the way into here and work on individual trees one at a time. But then when you zoom out, all that detail's lost. So really I need to pick a resolution that we stay at so that instead of doing this and having, you know, a representation of towns, I can actually have a town. And it's a problem because these assets look awesome. I want to use them, But like you're saying, they are the size of a mountain, which is not quite ideal. But we'll make it work. Some lessons to learn for the next map, you know? Smiley, this is a program called incarnate.com. It's a website, and it's totally free. You get more assets with the paid version, and you get higher resolution maps, but there's no reason you can't just use the free one. It's a very good program. Highly recommend it. Man, I'm really split, y'all. Let me know what you think, chat, because of the scale, these representations of towns work better than a literal representation like these buildings, these ruins. But I didn't see anything good in the asset library for just like, you know, to denote ruins. Clay, you made your whole map or whole campaign map on this totally free. Yeah, rock on. It's Incarnate's awesome. Totally love it. It's particularly useful for D&D, but super fun for books as well, and sometimes just for fun, just because. Sorry, I know it's not pretty right now. We're going through my asset library. The Riddler said, take away one of the smaller rubbles and out the other in front, and put the other in front like a small torn down wall. Kind of like, let's see. I think I know what you're saying. You put like one there, and then you do another one kind of like this. Make it a bit smaller. I dig it. We're gonna group, and then we're gonna flip them horizontally. And it's not gonna let me do that. Oh well. Catch up on chat. Senior Goatman said, I stacked some busted towers together to denote ruins. Yeah, that could work. Sloyd says, I'm with you on the scale. It's just representation. I consider mountains and trees the same too. Yeah. It's all about how you think about it. Because I mean, if you really compare, you got this building here, and then I mean, look at that. It's twice as tall as a mountain. But you know, maps are for representation, right? They're not a literal recreation. I would solve the issue entirely by just changing these ruins. I just got to find a good something to do that with. Yeah, see, the watercolor asset library is a little too literal. So I got to go to like Parchment World, and then Parchment World just gives you stuff like this. And I'm not a fan of these, you know, how they look. Cassie says I can't see the ruins without wanting to add a Colossus. That would be cool. They might have it in like the special features area. I could definitely see it. Maybe we just go away from the ruins aesthetic and just grab something more like that. You know, plop that down in there. Doesn't have to be literal ruins. I think I'm going to do that. I think these ruins are really cool, but I'm just not sure how to make them work, you know? So let's just grab a couple of these from the same library. I'm going to keep them all pointy-topped. Hey, Riddler, I'm glad... Riddler, let me make sure I'm saying that right. Let me know. But I'm glad you're having fun, dude. We are normally here every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. Riddler. Oh, it's Riddler. Of course it is. Thank you. We're here every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. Most days, Monday to Thursday, I write my book on stream in 5-minute writing sprints, and I encourage y'all to write along with me. We just create. We got visual artists that do stuff during that. We got chefs. We got people that clean their house. Whatever it is, we're here Monday to Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. And then on Friday, we make fantasy maps, which is what we're doing now. So, hey, welcome in. Glad to have you. All right, so let's finish this up. Bo, I write about 1,000 words on stream each day, and then I write about 1,500 off stream afterward. Because that's my goal, is up 2,400, 2,500 words a day. That's a good place for me to be at. That's a good progress for me to continue progressing at whatever book I'm working on. I think those are still maybe too big. Let me copy one of these from up here and paste it so I have a reference. Yeah, see, they're way too big. This is the ones that we used up top. So I need to keep things to that scale. Still probably a bit big, more like that. There we go. All right, so there's our ruins. All right, you know, it's a representation. It's not as pretty as it was. Honestly, there's a lot of empty space here too. A lot of empty space down there, but we'll think about it. Maybe that's something we sit on until next week and figure it out. We're struggling with the ruins a little bit, so I'm going to leave those. I'm going to leave those till next week. We'll come back to it. So y'all think about it. Cassidy said, "Do you think I could shrink the original ruins down to that scale?" I might be able to. The problem is they're going to look. They're going to be too tiny if we do that. But we can try it. Let's grab those again. It was in Fantasy World. A ruin. And it was this one. I mean, I guess it doesn't look too bad, Cassidy. It's not quite the same one, though. Hold on, it was... Where were you? Was it a different library? Nah, there we go. Oh, no, that's still... Ooh, I like that, though. That's a different one. That's a different set, but I actually really like that. And then we've got some selections in there, too, of different types of it. I think that might be our solution, y'all. Okay. Cassidy, thank you for encouraging me to come back to it. Let's go ahead. We're just going to group these, and we're going to move them to the side, because maybe we still use them. 4-6, you want to duck in a random area? I think we could get that. I mean, it's going to be small. It's not going to stand out too much. But we could definitely do that. Call that an old lighthouse right there. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that, Cassidy. I think we're rocking and rolling with that. I do still dislike the Impage says, "Who says the duck has to be small? New monster just dropped." I still don't like the difference between these two styles. So if I got to pick one or the other. So I really like this. So I think if we do this one, when we go back up here, we'll need to change these to be something a little more literal. But we'll work on that. We'll work on that. Chat. 4-6 says, "What are these fantasy maps used for?" 4-6, this one's not used for anything. We're just making this for fun on stream together. But I mean, you could really use it for whatever you wanted to, honestly. I've used them for my books before. I know a lot of people use them for D&D campaigns. Yeah, what Harpy said. Used for fun. That's what they're used for. Duckmageddon. Yeah, absolutely. If there was a duck that large, it would be Duckmageddon. It reminds me of that giant duck that they have in Europe that like floats around the ports once in a while. I know that sounds insane with no context. Hold on. It is this guy. This guy here. I'm sure people have seen that before. It's insane. Look at that thing. It's massive. There we go. Look at that. They gotta raise the drawbridge just to get it into the harbor. We all could use a duck like that. Okay, back to the map. Back to the map. Let's get some get a last push here. 4-6 says you might. Can you go inside of it? I don't know. I don't know if you can. Hey Jasmine, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're doing good. Hope you got a good weekend lined up. Good to see you. Senior Goatman says, add a health bar and some Latin music, and that's a Dark Souls boss. I love it. That's very funny. All right, y'all. I'm really happy with those ruins that I just saved over so you can't see them. We'll see them in a moment here. There we go. Oh, nope. Okay. I thought it said 100%. I thought it would be done. There we go. Check it out, y'all. Pretty happy with those ruins down there. I think the one thing I want to do now, I want to paint a little bit of our dark texture in there. On foreground, just to make it a little bit darker in here. I want it to make it a little bit evil. You know, it's like it's Dead City, right? We gotta make it a little bit creepy in there. It's snow, but we gotta make this a little bit rough looking. There we go. And now we're gonna do a little bit of a lighter texture again to mix it in. And I think maybe I want to do a little bit of red in there too. Jasmine, you said happy Friday. I'm finishing the first chapter of my book. Wait, is that a map maker? Yeah, it is, Jasmine. Hey, welcome in. This is Fantasy Map Friday. We make maps on Friday. It's a website called incarnate.com. Super useful website. I have way too much fun with it. And we've been making this map. We started last Friday, and we've been making it with Stream, taking your advice, talking it out, making it together. So welcome in. 46 said, I got my uncles a new set of red stained glass D&D dice for Easter, and they love them. That's super cool. Red stained glass. That sounds awesome. Good gift. Oh yeah, Jasmine, have fun with Incarnate. You get lost in here. You could be in here for so long. Such a wonderful program. It is free, so you can use it totally free. But there's a paid version that gives you more assets, as well as a bit higher map quality. No pressure to use that, obviously. I'm on the premium one here. If I'm going to do it on stream, I guess I need to have all the tools. But for a very long time, I used the free one, and it's totally fine. I think it's $5 a month for premium, or $25 for a year. So I mean, they're not asking much money. Oh yeah, and if you do make a map, y'all, and you want to show it off, please catch us in the Discord channel after stream. I just dropped the link in chat. We got a nice little growing community there of folks hanging out in the Discord channel. Or Discord server. We'd love to have you. We have an art share channel in there where people can show off what they've been creating. And if you make a map, in fact, here, do display capture again, pull up Discord, pop over to the server real quick, and go to the art share channel, because a couple folks, here's one of the maps one of our Discord members is working on. So you're getting there, an early start on it, but we have, got to go back to like last Fridays when everybody posted them. Look at all this cool art though people be making. Look at this one. I think this is one of my favorite maps that I've seen from Incarnate. If you're good enough, I mean, you can really do some good work with this thing. So yeah, if you do make a map, please hop in the Discord and share it. Um, 46 said, is it usable on mobile devices? I'm not sure, 46. I've never tried. I'm not sure it would be. I guess I don't see why it couldn't be, but I feel like it would be it'd be tough to do. Yeah, Cassidy, the Discord's growing like crazy, right? We're almost up to 100 members now. That's insane. That is truly insane. Jasmine, you said, I have a question though. Should I need a map for an underwater kingdom? Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be super fun to make. Do you need it? Nah. Do you want it? That's the question that matters, because I think that could be very cool. Y'all, I'm just gonna paint this with a little bit of a bluish, blackish, whitish color. Really make it stand out on the map a little bit, you know? I actually really like that. Yeah, you want it? Then yeah, rock on, Jasmine. Get it. Um, Look, half the time that I'm in Incarnate, I'm just making stuff for fun. I don't even have a purpose for the map. We're just rocking. It's like a video game to me, basically. All right, then a little bit of white. How we liking this? This kind of bluish, blackish, like an old bruise kind of down there. I'm a fan of that. I almost want to, I almost want to expand that color palette out a little bit from the city. I think that could be really cool. Let's kind of paint it out a bit. Yeah, it should be creepy, right? It's kind of like a ghost town. It's fallen into ruin, been abandoned. All right, we got the black. Then we do a little blue on top of it. That blue is strong. And then we're gonna whiten it up. Just kind of smear it on in there. It's like wet on wet paint. And a little bit more black. Let's go. I'm a huge fan of that. I kind of want the waist to transition into this color. Oh, those last 2 clicks were too heavy. A little bit of blue, just a little bit. And then white on top. Yeah, that's going to be a real ominous place, Coach. I would not want to go here. We need a creepy name for it, y'all. You got any name suggestions? I love that. Look at that at the zoom level. You know what? I almost want to do, I kind of want to continue it down onto these islands a little bit. Maybe at least to the first one. So we're going to grab our black and just blacken it up a little bit. I'm going to do blue on top. Oh, that was white. Blue on top. A little more black to tone it down. And then white. A little more blue in here. And now a little more white. Y'all, I feel like we're actually painting sometimes. What do we think about that? I think it's appropriate for like the first island to kind of mirror the point that it's from. It almost looks like the ocean kind of cut through here. Some past calamity. Hack, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for popping in to our Fantasy Map Friday. We're happy to have you here. We stream every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. And on Fridays, we wear pink. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Make maps. Make maps. On Friday, we make maps. Make maps. Another follow. Thank you, Tyler Sandoval. Appreciate that. How you doing today? Happy Friday to y'all. I always got to check my stream preview because sometimes I end up with what I'm working on directly behind my head, and I'll be sitting here working on it. And then I'm like, oh, y'all haven't seen literally anything I've done for the last 5 minutes. All right, let's get those changes saved. Megan said, I'm still probably going to hire someone. I cannot art at all. Hey, if it's something you enjoy, then you know, by all means, practice it and get better at it. But there's also nothing wrong with maximizing the things you're good at, right? If you want to spend your time writing instead, then totally. Harpy says, what about a play on Sapporo for a name? What is Sapporo? Is it is the capital of mountainous northern Japan? Okay, I can see why you'd go there. Find Your Smile said some extra ice plates. I don't know how to do the ice plates. Is it like an actual stamp that I can use? Because oh, yes it is. Yes it is. Hello. Let's look at this. Look at this, y'all. We can do. Let me make it bigger. We can do stuff like this. We can get some sea ice in there. Ah. All right, we're gonna do that next. Let me look at the names, your suggestion for the ruins over here. 4-6, you suggest withered rings. Hack, you said this is awesome. I used to make maps in Microsoft Paint. Hey man, I'm right there with you. I did the same thing. Check out incarnate.com. It's an absolute gift for people that like us that love making maps. Coach, you suggested the name Elephant Graveyard. Everything the light touches is yours. Wait, that's familiar. Yo, I'm already tempting Nintendo to come after me with my legally distinct Pokemon theme graphics. The last thing I need to do is inspire the ire of the mouse. Cassidy, your name's trying to play, or your mind went to playing on the word scar. Yeah, I kind of like that. Because there's like a scar on the landscape. It absolutely is. Pale Hollow, Witherworm. Ooh, Find Your Smile. That one's kind of resonating with me, right? Because we have this whole worm theme going on down here, and I don't want to do it too much, right? Look, we got Worm Lake, we got the Worm Waste, and then we could have Witherworm. That kind of works. That could have worked. That kind of works. The Tethered Tail. That's another good one. Yeah, these are good. I'm a fan of these. I'm gonna throw Withered Worm up there for a moment. It'll stay for now, but I'm still open to suggestions. Ooh, I like Wither with a W or with an H in there. That's a cool suggestion, Sloids. I don't know why I like that a lot. It almost it makes me think like white almost when you have that H in there. All right, now let's adjust this curve. Probably something like that. And then have it right here on the coast. A little bit hard to read there, maybe. Withered worm, says Impage. You make me sound like a southern gentleman with white. Gotta say that H before that W. Get the full accent going. I'm thinking for this name, I want it to go like here, and then we're gonna curve it the other way. Kind of like that, maybe. And I want to move the layer down because I want it to be behind this tower. Yeah, like that. Just a little bit of depth in the map. Oh, sorry, y'all couldn't see that. You need the other H. It's like Whiter Worm. Oh, yeah, you're totally. Oh, thank you. I did not notice that. There we go. Good call. All right, let's adjust our curve on it. Gotta wrap it nicely. Curving on text is like a weird thing, right? Like, I feel like on maps you don't want to curve text too much, but there's also the instinct to curve it along with the environment. So I don't know. That's something that's a nitty gritty thing I think about. Hey, Kooky, welcome in. Glad to see you. How you doing this fine Friday morning? We kind of like it like that, maybe? All right, we'll leave that there for now. I want to work on this sea ice, y'all. I'm excited about this discovery. Now, I don't know if that's the right stamp. It doesn't quite have the right color. Well, I guess we can change the color, right? We have the technology. We need it like this. Darken it a bit because this is not the cleanest ice. It's kind of nasty down here. I like that. Hey, your vacation time got approved, Kooky. That's what I want to hear. Rock on. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy your vacation. Where are you going? All right, let's look at these sea ice stamps and not place them all behind my head. I want to look at. There's a couple other ones in here too. There's like full-on icebergs if we want. Hey, thank you for the follow, Roses and Rye. Appreciate that. And welcome in. Happy Friday to you. How you doing today? We're just working on our map stream. It's Fantasy Map Friday. On Friday, we make fantasy maps. Right now, we're playing around with some sea ice we want to put down on these islands. Y'all, it's been a hot minute since we zoomed out and looked at it. Also, hey, look, here's our island, coming along pretty well. Appreciate y'all giving me some advice as we make it together. Kooky said you're not going anywhere for vacation. It's just to cover the days from surgery. Gotcha. Hey, that's what we call a staycation. You're just chilling at home. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, it's all good, Paul. Yeah, I go a bit longer for the Friday map streams. My calendar gets mad at me for doing that. Um, I probably shouldn't go too much longer here looking at it. But yeah, I just have fun on these Fridays. I like your idea, Impage, of for locations keep it straight, but for uh, for terrain you keep you bend the text a bit. I think it's a nice distinction, you know. The problem is I guess I need like a label over it. I need a label or a background shadow on the text so that it stands out, right? Kind of like that. I don't really want much blur on the shadow. Sorry, y'all. I'm working under my head again. Put it right here. Fill color white, outline black. There we go. That's pretty good. We can maybe a bit too much shadow though. Too much outline. How are we liking that? It's just too over the art though. Maybe like more like right in here. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Oh yeah, we definitely got to put some landmarks in there, Impage. We got to fill it in. It's way too barren right now. Nope, wrong way. Curve this way. Bring it up a layer. Um, yeah, I had it just underneath that one tower because I liked it interacting with it, but maybe it's a little too distracting. I don't really want it to be curved, but I don't know how to get it to fit in there nicely otherwise. The town is too small to just have the text floating over it. It blocks like all of it. But I guess that's okay. I don't know. I'm not sure I like it straight. I'm going to do a gentle curve on it. Makes curve more severe. All right, cool. We're gonna leave it like this, and then I'm gonna raise this one up a layer because I love that depth that you get when the word's just a little bit behind one of the elements. Coach, you dropped some names in there. Shattered Evenfall, Shattered Drake Harrow. Drake Harrow is very cool, Coach. I like that. Witherworm Hollow. I really like Drake Harrow. That's dramatic. Cassie said, what if the name of the ruins went out into the ocean slightly? Yeah, we could do that. I would need to drop the curve. And you'd want it to be kind of straight. It definitely works more for readability. Yeah, and it could be smaller font size because it's not an important place anymore. So we make that a little bit smaller. The problem is the map is meant to be viewed from like this scale. So it's got to be readable from this scale because I'm so bad at scale. We're going to get better on that in the next map, guys. Keep on me about that. Because I use my zoom feature way too much and we spend all our time like doing this. And then you zoom out and you're like, none of that is seeable from a continent scale. You're saying maybe a bit faded on the text? There's definitely a way to do that. If I go to opacity, probably. You can also blend it in. Nah, I've never been a fan of the blend tool for text. I thought there'd be an opacity. Here it is. It makes it harder to read, but it's kind of cool, actually. All right, I'm going to go back to the curve if we had it, though. I liked that a lot better. I'm going to go with that for now. And we can get back to it. All right, let's do the sea ice, and then we'll call it a day. How's that sound? Because we made really good progress today. When we come back next week, we're gonna need to fill in here, get some landmarks going. Coach says lighten the border on the text; it'll blend better. Yeah, we can try that if I can grab it. There it is. Outline. Is that outline? No, that's just the outline. Okay. Kind of like that, maybe. Cassidy, hey, have a good day. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. We'll catch you again on Monday. All right, let's get this sea ice figured and go from there. I really like the color what we did here with this like grayish color. So I'm gonna copy those settings. So it's a 37 saturation, 89 brightness, and 100 contrast. So it's really just 37 saturation and 89 brightness. There we go, just like that. And so now we can slap down some other stamps that are similar to it and figure out where we want all those to go. All right, so I think, y'all, I'm kind of liking the idea, and you tell me what you think, of these islands, almost like you can walk to them from the mainland because of the sea ice that's in here. Like, it would be a harrowing journey, but you could totally do it if you're brave enough, right? What do we think about that? That sound fun? Kind of something like that. Yeah, right, the ice fields. I like that name, Coach. Now I want it to be... I don't love that. The shadow's going the wrong way now. I'd love it to hug this coastline a little bit. But it's clear that it's over top of the land, so I don't love that. So we'll have to keep it a little ways off. And keep it behind the mountain. That's too similar to other stamps in the area. Not something like that. And move it down a layer so it hides behind the mountain. And then tuck it in right here. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this looks like you could almost walk across that and get on the island, right? Big fan of this. Big fan of this idea. Alright, so all these need to go down a layer so they can hide behind the mountains. Kind of like that. Yeah, there we go. You get down a layer as well. Now we're talking, folks. Actually, I liked where that was. Impage says he's learning. I feel like it's the Matrix meme. He's beginning to believe. Oh, sorry. Everything I was doing was off screen. I was just getting a new ice sheet. Alright, move it down a layer. I don't want these to overlap too much. But just kind of like... There we go. That's what I'm talking. Something like that. There we go. Maybe it's a little bit too, like, 1, 2, 3 paths in there. They're all centered on the mountains a bit much. Nah, I like that where it was. The cool concept, though. I'm a fan of it. I think it needs a little bit of polish to get it there, but maybe a little less ice in some area. Maybe like we don't need this one connecting. Yeah, I kind of like that better. I kind of like that a lot, actually. All right, now these ice structures I thought were fun, but we don't need too many of them. They're honestly like not scaled correctly anyway, but just kind of floating between out here somewhere. Maybe we do two. Maybe we do two, because this one's cool too. Spiky and dramatic. Oh, Coach, did I just delete the one you liked? The arching one? There, we'll put it in. We're gonna put it in over here. There we go. I like that. Just kind of, showing the islands string along together. And then let's get just a little more sea ice in there. Oh, you know what, guys? Oh, Sleepy, what's going on, man? Welcome on, or not Sleepy, Sleepy Nova, not Sleepy from TikTok, Sleepy Nova on YouTube. Sorry, I just saw that comment. My YouTube chat is hard to watch today. It's way off to the side. Y'all, idea. Sea ice that stretches off the edge of the map here, as if these mountains are falling into like a field of sea ice almost. They're giving way. You get like some Antarctica vibes going on down here. It's just the suggestion of them off the map. So let's see, we're going to make that a bit bigger. That's a little bit too big. And we're going to stick it right down here on the side, right? So it almost like hints that these islands feed into something else. This is the one that I want. Make it big like that. Give it a little rotation. Stick it down in here. Yeah, y'all, I'm kind of digging that. What do we think? Do our islands go off to the side like we want? I always ask you, and then I hit Control S because I want to save the map, and then it's like you can't see anything. Sorry, folks. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here for Fantasy Map Friday. We stream every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. It's just Monday to Thursday. We do writing streams more so. If we pop over to the main scene, typically this is where I'm at in my little library, working on my next book live on stream, and I invite y'all to create along with me for our 5-minute writing sprints or creativity sprints. Then we do Q&A about books, writing, publishing, all that fun stuff. But y'all, on Friday we make fantasy maps. Oh, thank you for the follow there, the real Mean Gene. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. I guess I need to do a little plug real quick because we've been deep in the map tank for a while. Y'all, I'm author Alex Knight. These are all my book ones. I've been writing since 2018 full-time. And if any of these look interesting to you, please give them a look on Amazon. You can find them in paperback, ebook, audiobook, whatever format you're interested in. They're there. Give them a look. Otherwise, like I said, we're here every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, streaming, writing, creating on stream, all that fun stuff. I'll answer any questions you have about books, publishing, writing, any industry questions like that. Please hit me with them. And then on Fridays, like I said, Fridays we do our map streams, Fantasy Map Friday. So we're here. I got about 5 more minutes. Let's do a little more work on the map, and then, well, I got the rest of the workday to get to, so that's not fun. But we're going to enjoy these next 5 minutes. Kookie, I'm glad you could be here as well, too. It's good to see you. Good to have you. Coach says, lore. Drake Harrow wants a mystical city in alignment with a dragonish deity figure. And yes, Harpy, you have been saving me all day with the Discord mentions. Y'all, if you have fun, and you'd like to have fun again when the stream ends, I invite you, if I could paste the link correctly, to pop into Discord. I just put the link in chat. We got a server with near 100 people on it now. Absolutely insane. We do art share in there, writing share. We got a sprint bot so you can do writing sprints. All that fun stuff. Come check it out. We'd love to have you. But for now, we need to finish the map a little bit. We'll keep working on it next weekend. Or next Friday. But we got 5 more minutes here. So what do you all want to work on for the last 5 minutes? We had mentioned putting some land features in here. We definitely need to on this kind of deserty waste area. I also really like this blue-black color that we put in here. I think that's super fun. Do we expand it out more? I kind of like having only, keeping the black should stay around this dead city. I wonder if the blue and the white should expand out a little bit. Oh, hey, Peyton. Good to see you, man. Well, checking in on an alternate account. Glad to have you. I saw you popped in on your main account earlier, too. That was fun. Welcome in, dude. Yeah, man. Another map making Friday. Look, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing on Friday. Let's be real. Whoop, that was too far in. All right, there we go. I kind of like that. That gives the desert some color, some feel to it. Our frozen waste. Oh, hey, welcome in, Bert. Yeah, we kept it. Look, Bert. I got word that your alarm clock didn't go off, and I knew you were gonna have a rough morning, so I said we're gonna keep this stream going just for Bert until he can get here. Um, so welcome in, buddy. Oh, find your smile. Thank you for reminding me about the duck. Let's get that duck in here. We promised that there would be a duck. That's probably gonna come from Watercolor Cities. That's a good asset library for it. Let's take a look. Nope, no ducks there either. Fantasy Battle Maps. You got ducks in there? I haven't loaded this library in a while, so it's gotta pull the assets. Oh no, that's a dead duck. Why is the only duck a dead duck? All right, I got a solution, y'all. This is the only duck it's given me. But look, this is a dead duck, like hanging up on a rack. Now it's a giant duck stomping through the countryside. So if I can't find a better duck, that's the asset we're going to use for that. Let's try it here. Nope, nothing there. Boy, this Incarnate, I love you. You got a lot of assets, but not for ducks. No duck respect. Nothing. Alright, it's got to be in the battle map then, right? Come on, give me a duck. They have geese? Geese aren't ducks, though. Y'all, it says this is a geese, but... Oh, is it bending over? I'm trying to figure out how this is a goose. Incarnate, I love you, but I do not know what's going on with this one. Alright, I'm going to stick with my duck we found here. A special request from Find Your Smile. We got to hide a duck somewhere in the map. I feel like the duck would be up here near the waterfall. And we're going to hide him in the trees a little bit. How about like right in here. Right, he's chilling out on the water side, you know? He's having a good time. Duck falls. You know what? It actually looks like he's in the treetop. That's pretty funny. Alright, duck lives in the tree now. Perfect. Alright, the Easter egg is complete, y'all. There is a duck on the map. You just gotta zoom it all the way into him. There he is. I love it. That's a fun idea. Alright. I think maybe some lands, just a couple features here. Yo, what kind of lands? What kind of features are we gonna put in this cold wasteland? Give me some ideas. I'm gonna blue up this this little area here because you know it's got the black and red aesthetic going on. I think it needs to transition more to something a little more blue in there. That's what I'll work on. Y'all come up with some landscape features we want to fill the worm waste with. A ridge / cliff range close to the dying lake. A geyser. Okay, these are good. These are good. I like that. I like that a lot, y'all. Also, I like how that coloring came out. It's hard to do this transition from red into blue, but I like it. I like how it's going. Yeah, I like this plateau idea that you're going for, Coach and Find Your Smile. Let me get to the right library and look up cliff because I know there's some good ones. I know there's a lot of good cliffs in this. I want one that's going to take on the color beneath it though. Because like this one is desert, right? So it's going to always be desert. Oh, a smidge of purple to blend the blue and the red. That's brilliant. I love that smile. Hmm. Fantasy World, that's what I need. Here we go. Ice cliffs. Perfection. Let's stick some of those in here. Um, short ice cliffs. We're just going to... I like to drop the assets into the map outside of the library, and then I can do more with them. So that's why you just see me popping them down here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make them all bigger so we can look at them. And now these should... Yeah, they take on the color. They take on the color beneath them. Rock on. We can make a plateau out of this. Let me do that smidge of purple real quick. That was a brilliant idea. All right. It's not going to want to give me a purple color. That's okay. We can alter one to be purple. Color. I need to put this somewhere so I can see what color I'm changing. Is this on ice? Yeah, it was on ice. There's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be an easier way to do purple. I don't know. What's a feature that would require purple that I could just pull from instead of making my own purple brush? Let me know. I'm gonna work on the plateau while we think on that one. All right, so we wanted this plateau here. Y'all, I'm really liking this. Heltsy. Wait, did I say that right? Heltsy. I'll call you Helt for now. Yes, this is Incarnate Pro, just for the extra assets and stuff. I used free for a very long time though and had no issues with it. It's very powerful. All right, so something we got to consider here when we make this plateau is the cliffs all need to be in the same direction. Like, you don't want to rotate it like this and try to stick them together. I mean, I guess you can. Actually, it doesn't look half bad. Doesn't look half bad actually. So never mind. Ignore all my advice. I'm completely wrong. Yeah, Helt. I was thinking I could do that to like make my own purple. I'm not opposed to it. It's just a little bit harder than I wanted to have a color. You can't see it, but I have like a color palette off to the side here. I wanted to be able to just click back to the purple. I guess it'll naturally get more purple if I just throw more red in there and then put blue on top of it. Ah, that actually kind of did it. All right, nice. We'll do that. There we go. Because look, like right in here, right there, we're getting a little bit of purple coming through. All right, cool. That's how we do that then. I'm gonna finish this little plateau and then we'll call it there. So let's get that going. Impage says with the cliff variant they have different orientations. They do. That's right. All right, so let's. Where do we put this plateau at? Maybe on the edge of the city, run into the coast, kind of. I don't know really how plateaus develop as a geographic feature. Oh, and we'll delete that. Could be here between the lake and the ocean. Ooh, I like that one. That orientation change is very good there. Almost like, oh, you know what? Y'all, what if Witherworm? What if this little city that we've done down here that my head is covering? What if that had kind of like a... Let's see. I got to change the orientation to show you what I'm thinking here. Kind of something like this, right? It's Coach, you said read previous comments. Oh. With an opposing cliffside bordering the ruins, Coach. Literally exactly what I'm doing. That's hilarious, dude. You called it. Nice. Yeah, I really like that. Like a gorge. It's tucked away down here, right? I really like this idea. That's super cool. And Holden, hey, or no, who was it? Didier, thank you for following, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for following. This is our Fantasy Map Friday. We're making this fantasy map together. So if you got any suggestions, anything you want to see with it, please let me know. We're doing it. I'm building this with y'all's input. Oh, and Find Your Smile. Thank you for following. And thank you for your good input. I appreciate that. AB White Rabbit. Wow, it's a follow train. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Going to end on a strong note here. I appreciate that. Sloyd said, a little education here. Plateaus are firmer sediment that was the top layer of ground, and the sediment around it eroded away. The firmer sediment / earth was left standing. I guess that makes sense. I always think of that for like a hoodoo type structure, but I guess a plateau is just a bigger version of that, huh? That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that, Sloids. All right, y'all. I got an important question here. How do we finish out this this gap right in here? I don't want to fill it entirely, but I feel like the edges of this should close it a bit more, have a bit more of a pass that you go through in order to get to Witherworm, we've called it. Nah, I don't like that one. Rotate the one I'm holding. Oh, darn it, I just got rid of it. This one, Coach? So just kind of rotate it. Could be, could be. If I do a layer down, it looks like they kind of come together. It's a little too sheltered though. Layer it behind the other and make it smaller to the center. Senior, every time you come back, the map gets, yeah, man, look what we've done. We've done a lot of work on it. Not much up north, but we've been working down south today. I really love, so we have like, we got like these ice sheets here. And the logic is you could theoretically like brave the ice fields to walk from one island out to this first island. And then down here, the islands kind of trickle off into ice sheets. I really like that. I think looking at that, not to get distracted, but I kind of need one more ice sheet in here just to continue the trend, you know? And these are all a little bit too big, probably. Something like that. Put them closer together. Yeah, there we go. I'm digging it. You're draining a water heater, Senor. That's rough, dude. You getting a new one? Not a lot of work done on water heaters. Typically just replaced. Coach, you're saying it was the curved one for the cliffside. Was it this one? Kev asked, what's the background on this? You mean the background on the whole map, or the background is in the story of while we're doing it? Because the background on the map is ocean. We painted in different colors of ocean to like make it make it darker, make it deeper. It's not finished along the coastlines, but it's going to be shallower here. You can see my cursor, right, y'all? I think you can yeah, you definitely can. It's shallower here, and then we painted in darker layers of water all the way out to signify where the water's deepest. Which, speaking of, sorry, I would like it to be a bit darker in here. And the background on the map is when on Fridays we do Fantasy Map Fridays. We just make maps on stream. I take your input, y'all's input, and we make them together. A lot of fun. I have a great time doing it. Tayloon, welcome back in. Good to see you. Oh, Kev, thank you. Oh, the hat and mustache. It's such a cool one. It's got to is it still on? I can't see on my end, but I feel like when it comes on, I want to peer out from under the brim, look all dramatic about it. But yeah, Kev, so if the stream, we're here every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. Typically, I'm writing my next book on stream, and we do 5-minute writing sprints, and I invite y'all to join along, and we kind of create together. And then in between, we do Q&A about books, writing, publishing, all that fun stuff. I'm a fantasy author. I've been doing it since 2018. These are all my book ones here. It's fantasy on the top row and lit RPG on the bottom. So please, if any of them look interesting to you, pop over to Amazon, give them a look. They're available as ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Or you can learn more about me. You can learn more about me at authoralexknight.com. So that's our Monday to Thursdays, as we do that format. We do writing sprints, and we put 5 minutes on the clock, and we create together. But on Fridays, we have a little fun. On Fridays, we do some fantasy maps. Impage said, can we do some icebergs on land? Um, and Senior, no, you're a plumber. Oh, okay, so you're doing it for a client. Gotcha. Um, and yes, Harvey, we when the stream's not going, if you want the fun to continue, folks, I just put the Discord link in chat. Um, we have a good little Discord community where we do a lot of stuff like this and hang out. So if y'all want to pop into that, we would love to have you. We're about to hit 100 members on that Discord, so please do pop in if you're interested. Senior, you said you can't recommend Servant of Rage enough. Well, thank you, my friend. He's talking about this book right here. Came out a couple weeks ago. It's my gritty fantasy. It's got like Dragon Ball Z-esque fight scenes and a Highlander magic system, all in a Mongolian-inspired world, kind of Genghis Khan conquest type deal. So yeah, you enjoyed that book, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks for shouting it out. Ronnie said, can we also wear pink on Fridays? Yes, Ronnie, we can in fact wear pink on Fridays. And Impage says, jagged rocks hue shifted could work for like some icebergs on land. That's a really interesting thought. Icebergs on land. Okay, yeah. We got snow-covered jagged rocks. I really like that for random features in the waste. Oh, thank you, Smile. You said it's a good vibe for tattoo drawings, which I assume you are doing tattoo drawings. Rock on. The music's soothing and your voice is very ASMR. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Very kind of you to say that. That's kind of the goal, you know. We're trying to give people some good vibes to start the day. Nice place to kick off their day and go out into the world feeling good. Lord knows we need it these days. I'm kind of digging these jagged rocks, man. Actually makes this town look so much creepier. Look at the the ruins. We got there, right? We struggled with the ruins, but we think we got there in the end, y'all. I'm pretty happy about them. All right. Let me figure out how I want to finish this little cliffs, the cliffs around Whiteworm. Oh, sorry, Witherworm. Yeah, it does look like Whiteworm, doesn't it? Even I'm reading it as Whiteworm now. Let's get back to our cliff stamp. Nah, that's not gonna do it. That's actually really cool. I kind of like that one more than what's there. Nah, not noticeable enough. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. You had some suggestions earlier about what to put right in this spot, because I want something to fill this gap a little bit. Let me know what you're thinking there, because I think you had some good suggestions and I was not paying enough attention. Sorry. I almost feel like it's something with the canyons. Like I need to get the canyon, the plateau, cliff sides. Maybe it's the jagged rocks. Maybe that's a good solution. Just a bit bigger. Nah, not loving it. Not loving it. Giant marble. Everyone lives in fear of the day it rolls. Love it, Poison. I love it. We'd have to custom import that asset. Might be worth it, though. Dead white. Ooh, dead white trees. I could dig that, Harpy. Some creepy old trees in there. Let's find some creepy trees. Oh, that's a weird one. I just want to pull this one out so y'all can look at it. Look at that crazy thing. We got a giant mushroom tree. That's pretty cool. Oh, there's a whole, like, fungal section. Alright. This is listed as a dead tree, but it's not going to take on the color beneath it, so I would have to manually change it, and I don't want to do that. So let's find a better one. Sure, there's like a snow-covered dead tree. We got like a Christmas vibe going on. You could do something like this. But those aren't dead. Those are very much alive. Bert says don't go to the underbloom. Referencing his... Oh, I just hit keyboard cam. Let me make sure it's still good. Yeah, we're fine. Um, referencing his own short stories there. Y'all, Bert writes some pretty sick short stories over on his TikTok account. I highly recommend giving him a look. I am often envious of the writing there. It makes me mad how good it is. I'm not seeing much for dead trees that are, kind of white, that are going to fit the theme, Um, I might have to color shift it myself, which I really don't want to do. It takes a little bit of work. Um, Nick, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, man. Welcome in. Welcome to our Fantasy Map Fridays. We'll be doing this every Friday. Most days we do writing on stream, but for Fridays we make fantasy maps. All right, so Harpy, I like this tree, but it's starting to look a little bit too much like the cliffs next to it. Like when I make it small, it just looks like another plateau almost. Oh, unknown Totodile. Hey, thank you. Totodile as well. Got that Pokemon vibe. Let's go. Thanks for the follow, dude. I appreciate that. Glad to have you here. We do have a little bit of a Pokemon aesthetic on stream around here, so hey, you might fit right in. Thanks for stopping by. All right, y'all. I gotta wrap this up. I got work I gotta get to, but I really want to find what tree we're gonna fill this gap with. Just gotta find a tree. See, that one's alive. I don't want living trees. Oh, this one's all gnarled and twisted. That's kind of creepy looking. I just got to change its color. I got to get the color different. There it is. There it is. We did it, folks. Brighten that up a little bit. Get a little more contrast going. Ooh, that is evil looking. I love it. AB, yeah, we can elongate the plateaus a bit to close that gap in. We could definitely do that. And I think we found our trees, folks. So got stamps of these? Yeah, we got a whole different variety of them. Oof. These are some evil looking trees. All right, let's make them real small. We're going to put them in there. Y'all, this place is straight up haunted. This city is like, I mean, it was supposed to just be creepy because it's ruins. Now it's just straight haunted. This place is horrifying. There we go. That closes the gap a little bit better on those plateaus. Unknown, you said this is a nice hobby. I always wonder how many game maps are made like this. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely know a couple book maps have been made in Incarnate. I treat it like a video game, man. I literally just have fun with it. It's just we're just vibing with it. All right, so let's put a couple of these trees in here, and then we're gonna call it for the day, cause you boys got to get some work done on top of this. Y'all, these trees are absolutely eerie. I think we're just gonna have basically just a little wood of them here. Not totally fill the gap, but enough that it's kind of a creepy place. Something like that. Something like that. Now, obviously, they're big because, there's mountains next to them that are different sizes, which is a shame. But I think with these trees, they're so detailed that if we make them smaller, they're going to lose a lot of their resolution. But I said that, and then I made them smaller, and they actually look great. So never mind. I love it. Y'all, check it out. That's good progress. We basically lived in the south today on stream, but, we did all this. We delete these extra plateaus out of the ocean. Check it out, y'all. I'm pretty stoked about this. We got these islands. Here, you know what? Hold on. Before we go, let me grab the before and after image real quick. I know it's in here somewhere. Hold on. Aha. Okay. Pop over to display capture. Y'all, this was our map last time. This is where we started the day at, right? The north is kind of the same as it's been. We didn't do much here. But if you'll notice, look at this coastline right in here. Pretty barren. And then look at the south. I mean, it's totally different, right? There was a desert down here. The lake was a different color. These islands were just textures. There was no ice. And now, let's pop over to the map and see what it looks like now. Wildly different, y'all. Wildly different. Like, here's this area I told you to look at. We cut down on the beach. We put in some like wooded hills and wooded foothills. Um, and then check out this. I mean, this is such an improvement down south. I love how this came out. Great work today, guys. I'm very pleased with this. Look at this whole place, man. I really want to write a scene in this area now. I want to know what's going on in this creepy old ghost town with its gnarled trees and its plateaus looking over it. Y'all, imagine standing right here, right? Like standing right on this cliff face and looking down at this creepy valley. You know what? I'm supposed to be going, but I need to look at one thing real quick. Y'all, we got to put some fog down in here. We got to put some fog in this. Let me get that opacity up on it so it's the right color. It's already at 100 opacity, so we might need clouds instead because the fog is a little too transparent. Let's grab a cloud. Here we go. And I need that to be on the top layer. Nope, nope, nope. Move up a layer. Yeah, now we're talking. Geo, I'd be totally down for that. Some folks were talking about doing that, you know, kind of a shared creation of the lore of the world. I'm fully here for it. The only thing is the text needs to be above it. Let me grab that text. Cloud, where are you? Clouds are awesome in Incarnate, but they're a little bit hard to grab at times. There it goes. All right, so we're just gonna move that cloud off. Put it a little bit over the title text, and then there's so many assets down here, it's getting hard to grab them all. There it is. Okay, you need to go up a layer all the way to the top. And then we're going to plop our cloud down here, and we're going to make it a little more opaque. Something like that, maybe. Or do we do it a bit smaller and put a second one in here? Because I don't want to hide all the detail in there, but I do want to make this place creepy and you know, ghost-like. Something like that. There we go. Yo, that place is horrifying. I don't want to go there. I love it. Let's save that so we don't lose anything. Oh. Y'all, rock on. I'm pleased with this map. Senor, you would picnic there? I'm going to make a note for the island. Because I like the idea of y'all, if you want to hang out in the Discord, you want to write some lore for like what's going on in this world. I think we can do that. I think that'd be really fun in Discord, a little shared creative writing for everybody. So let's, I made a note to make that happen. I'm gonna do one more cloud here because I want this forest to be just absolutely creepy. There we go. There we go. That place is terrible. All right, y'all. Well, hey, thank you for hanging out with me today. Thanks for another successful Fantasy Map Friday. Been an absolute pleasure having you here, and look at the progress on the map, y'all. I wish I fit better with it. Look at it. This thing's sick. Bunny, thank you for following. I appreciate that. Y'all, I'm going to do one last promo on the way out. Sorry if you're joining right here at the end, but this has been Fantasy Map Friday. We are continuing to make this map together. Thank you for the follows, folks. I appreciate that. And the GOAT, Bunny May. Thank you so much. Y'all, every Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, with some bonus time on the end. I can't help myself when we have this much fun. We got to keep it going. 3 hours, 20 minutes today. Pretty long stream. But look what we got done. Look at this map. I mean, this is incredible progress. So, y'all, thanks for being here. As always, we are here every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. Most days, it looks like this. Most days, I'm here writing my next book on stream. I do 5-minute writing sprints, and I encourage y'all to create along with me during them. And then afterward, we circle back, we talk about what we got done, and then I answer questions about books, writing, publishing, author life, all that fun stuff. Any questions you got. Once again, folks, I'm author Alex Knight. I've been writing full-time since 2018. These are my books. You can find them on Amazon or at authoralexknight.com. Lastly, on Fridays, we do maps. We do Fantasy Map Fridays. Folks, thank you for being here today. I want to give a special thanks to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which provided our background music today. As well, an extra special thank you to community member Raffi the Engineer, who's always hanging out and chatting, and also made the song playing right now. Made our 5th background song, Midnight at the Round Table. Thank you very much, Raffi. Lastly, if you've enjoyed the stream, please give me a follow so we can hang out on the next one. Y'all, we will be back Monday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, and every day next week. I'm excited to see you here. I'm excited to be back with you. And I don't know, there's been some chatter about maybe a random gaming stream this weekend, so I don't know. Keep watch for that notification. Maybe we go live on Saturday or something. But otherwise, folks, thank you for being here. I've had an absolute pleasure. I hope you have too. And I'll end it by showing off my new scene. We made this one, so y'all. Thanks for being here. Have a good one. We'll catch you next time.